Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. How are you all doing? Can you hear me? Yes, in the chat if you can hear me clearly and perfect. There you go. I see the chat rolling. Wonderful. I hope you had amazing session yesterday. Someone says there's echo. I hope there's no echo coming in. Okay, perfect. I got it. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for these responses. Wonderful. I hope all of you had like crazy session yesterday. Are you all excited for AI cloning and couple of AI creative use cases? Because we're going to play along with some of the image and video models that are crazily going viral all over the internet and in the AI world as well. So we will be discussing about wide range of diffusion models and different kinds of text to image, text to video, and text to voice tools today. So let me quickly share my on what's going to happen, right? So before we begin, right, why today's session is relevant to you as an AI generalist, right? So this is very, very important that you need to remember of why all of these sessions, be it creative, be it automations, be it fundamentals, how are these sessions relevant to me, right? So it's a very, very important question. All of you must have this, right? As an AI generalist, whether you're from a creative background or not, right? Let's say you want to create powerful content independently for yourself, like how, let's say, Vaibhav is doing, let's say how Varun Maya is doing, let's say how every content creator out there is creating content. You can use these tools, right? So second is, with AI tools you no longer need to rely on people to bring your creative ideas to life. Third one, mastering image and video generation and workflows allow you to work solo. And at the same time, let's say there is an important situation at your office. Let's say you're sitting with your marketing team. As an AI generalist, you have to solve their use cases or problems using AI, right? How will you solve? Because marketing is all about being creative. All you see, the ads, the images, the flyers, the copy, the content, all this comes out as a creative domain, right? So everything that I mentioned right now is all possible using AI as of today, right? So today's agenda, you will learn to make your own avatar, right? Which is one of the part of the lecture today. But how many? I want answer. How many of you know how to generate a consistent character inside an AI tool? When I say consistent character, what does that mean is, let's say I want to generate an image of myself. Is that possible? I have opened the chat again. You can respond. Have you learned about consistent character generation during the mastermind? Yes, I see your answers. Not really, right? We have not covered consistent character generation. We might have learned about how to build ads, how to build a couple of other stuff using AI, but we have not talked about consistent character generation, right? So today we will use wide range of tools to understand consistent character generation. Now, how this can help. Like I said, as an AI generalist, if you had to solve a marketing department's problem statement, right? You can consult them and say that, hey, you know what? This is the workflow. This is how you can build ads. There is no need to rely on an external third-party agency. This is how you can do this, right? While you think, some of you might think that, hey, you know what, on a daily level I might not interact with the marketing team, but how is this even helpful for me? You can start creating content for yourself, for your personal brand. Let's say you want to post content on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. You want to post videos, right? You can all do that using the workflows that will be taught to you today. Okay, so the session will be in two phases. Phase one will be consistent character generation, where you can be the hero inside of the video that you generate, right? Sounds amazing, right? Imagine I am generating a video inside which I am the hero and I am the actor, right? That is what we are going to do today. And the second phase of today's workshop is, we will create an AI clone that can speak like you, that can speak like yourself, that can replicate yourself, That is what we are going to do, right? So we will use a tool called HeyGen for this. Now, all of you must have had coupons for this. If the coupon is working or not working, it's totally fine. If the coupon is not working, you can write us at support, but it does not require, the coupon is not required for you to attend this session. You can generate a clone using free account as well. We will teach you how that is done, right? So my promise to you, by the end of the session, you should be able to send your AI clone in your family's WhatsApp group or friends WhatsApp groups saying, hey, you know what, meet my AI version. Deal? Sounds like a deal, right? All right. Yes. Great. I love the enthusiasm in the chat. Now, so these are the two phases. One is AI for marketing use case, right? As an AI generalist, one for AI marketing, two is AI for personal branding, right? That is what we will be doing today. Now, as an AI generalist, it's very, very, very important for us, like we discussed, we need to understand problems and solve problems of any domain given to you. Remember, I showed you the slide of T shape. The vertical line is what we are gearing up for. The breadth of skills that we will be gaining throughout this program. All right. That sounds like a deal. So before we proceed, let's meet our mentors for today. Of course, you will be guided by one of the best in the currently in India who does content with multiple brands. By the way, the best part about Priyanku is, let me introduce Priyanku. Hi, Priyanku. Good to see you.
What's
He's
up,
head of
everyone?
Yes, he is head of generative AI at Samurai Studios, and he runs his own agency. He runs his own company that provides advertising solutions for companies like HUL, Hamleys, and whatnot. He's been working with some of the top class world brands out there and creating advertisements from them, all using AI, right? That is the crazy part, all using AI. So he is here to teach you what is gonna how do you build these workflows and all that, right? But we have more mentors to help you during the breakout rooms for the question and answers that you will have, for the questions that you will have, and the Q&A box that you can use. So we have co-mentors that we have for today is we have Jay, who's a founder of Jay Prince and has like 1.8 million plus followers on Instagram. And he's been here and he's been mentoring with us and he's super excited to meet all of you. Hi, Jay. If you could wave your hand, probably people could see you.
Hi
Okay.
everyone. Nice to be here
Wonderful.
and glad to be co-mentoring today on today's session. Really excited and looking forward to showing you some practical workflows and showing you how to apply it right away.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jay. While they will interact with you over the breakout room at the end, you can stay active in the Q&A chat box as well. So we have Jordan as well, who's a co-founder of Commander, an international marketing agency. Hi, Jordan. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm stoked to be here.
Wonderful. And then we have Brandon, who is a founder of AI Film Academy. Hi, Brandon. How are you doing?
Hey guys, happy to be here. Super stoked to help answer all your questions and get everyone caught up with AI filmmaking.
Wonderful. Great. We have Vishwas, who's a filmmaker and a storyteller, over 14 lakh views on YouTube, and also he's a content creator himself. So, hi Vishwas, how are you doing? Good to
Hey,
have you.
how are you? All good, all good. I'm super excited to talk to everyone here today.
Wonderful. So let's catch up in the breakout room sometime. Next, we have Shreyas Raj, who is the founder and CEO of RapidX AI Solution. Hi, Shreyas. Are you there? I don't see Shreyas for some reason. Okay, I see. No, I don't see him. Oh yeah, I see him. But his camera is not turned off. But that's okay. Cameron, good to see you again. I hope you had fun yesterday. Good to see you again here today.
Absolutely. Super glad to be here. I love these sessions. They're super value packed and really excited to get into these breakouts.
Great, great, great. Wonderful. All right. With that being said, we have Sachin as well, who is going to be interacting with you over the breakout rooms. Hi, Sachin. How are you doing?
Hello
Good to
guys,
see you. Long
I'm good,
time.
thank you.
Nice.
I'm really
Great.
excited to be here. Yeah, thank you.
All right. So, people, let's get this started. I think I've taken 15 minutes, even though I started on time today. I end up taking a lot of time. These mentors will keep Priyanko especially text me over WhatsApp saying, boss, you take a lot of time. So let's get started quickly. And let's get started with the creative workflows. I want the chat to be on fire right now. Perfect. Let's go. Over to you, Priyanku.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Bharadwaj. I think, as always, welcome to the other mentors. Like, there's so much of AI talent in the house right now. It's kind of crazy. Beautiful assembly here, and we are here again to do what we do best: is talk about AI filmmaking and talk about what we can do with the world of generative AI, right? So, as we have been expanding, as we have been growing in the world of AI, all the mentors will also tell you this, that uh, there used to be a time with Samurai when we used to have like this AI setup, and we used to go to different brands and tell them, hey, why don't you do this work with AI and that work with AI? And they used to look at the quality and be like, okay, this is great, but maybe we'll wait for a bit. That wait for a bit today has come to an end. AI imaging and AI video has gotten so good up to a point where it is sometimes almost become indistinguishable from real stuff. Today, we'll be taking a look at some of the best workflows out there. Although these workflows can be very varied, they can be very different in types of approaches, but some fundamental core things about them tend to stay the same over time. No matter what you do, it tends to be the base, tends to be the same. Like Bhardwaj told you, we have an action-packed session, which includes basically right from consistent character generation. Then we go into looking at agent clones, and in the middle, we'll do some VFX, and we'll see what can be done interestingly with different AI tools, right? Uh, so kicking it off, first, before we do anything, I'm gonna play one of the very recent ads we made for Samurai using VO3. The whole point of doing this is basically no matter where AI goes, no matter how good generative AI becomes, we are like, all of us together are firm believers that, human storytelling tends to stay the core strength of what we do. Although there is like, a lot of AI generated scripts and AI generated help tools, but ultimately creativity is what is the game here, and that always tends to stay human, right? So let me quickly share my screen. Let me play something for you. I'm not being able to share sound. Let me just check on that. Let me just close this. Give me a second. Bhardwaj, your share is off, right?
Yeah, my share is off.
Yeah, yeah, now it's there. So, okay, you guys can all probably see my screen. Cool. Let me play. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at this. Ultimately, an ad for Samurai, but tending to say that human creativity stays at the core, yeah.
Once upon a time, you needed a script, a crew, a vision. Apparently now you just need Wi-Fi.
AI can give you any cast you want.
Pick a face. Any face.
Mountains? Backwaters? Darling, if you can type it, ooh, AI can make it.
Dynamic lighting. Natural shadows. Simulated sun. All yours.
You want heartbreak in E minor or an item number with a bass drop?
Just type what you feel, bro.
AI can give you everything. The cast, the sets, the light, even the action.
But not the why.
The story isn't over. It's just been waiting for the tellers to return.
They wrote it with AI? AI writes anything, unless you want it original. Or, actually good.
Okay, so AI can help you build the film, but there always needs to be a human that basically allows you to tell the story, right? So when we do this, ultimately trying to say that, human creativity is the core of the project. Like this, we build different films for brands, for agencies, for individuals, for companies, depending on whatever the advertising or the marketing client basically needs. Now, when you saw this was a Google VO3 video that was built using a text to video interface. So there is no image to video. Now, the difference between, now there are three inputs you can basically give any model. you can give that, like for any video model, you can basically give it two inputs, sorry, not three. You can either give it an image input along with a prompt. You can either give it a text input. When you give it a text input, there is no image, so you cannot control the consistency of what is going to be generated. So it's pretty subjective. It has only been in the last 6 to 8 months that good, consistent character tools, and now all of you must have heard about Nano Banana and how good it is. Similar models like Seed Dance has dropped a similar model. Flux Context has been around for some time. So these models are just getting better and better and better. And in the last 6 months, probably diffusion models have been completely redefined, and the creative industry as a whole has gotten the biggest makeover it has had in the last since the time these models have launched. So recently what we did, we took an opportunity to make sort of an ad for WebHub. Now, what all of you guys are familiar with WebHub 100%, right? So as WebHub has told you before that, in this age, which is the rapidly evolving new age, AI is going to become the core foundation of a lot of things. So in every age, there are ideas that are basically disruptive. And these ideas which are disruptive in nature, that once they come into the economy and they come into everything, it's particularly hard to sort of digest them in the very beginning. So what we try to do is put a story together using WebHub as a consistent character to tell the story throughout. And just imagine him in all different ages selling the path-making product of those ages. So he's somewhere selling agriculture, or like talking about agriculture to caveman. Then he's somewhere talking about toothpaste in ancient Egypt. Then he's Aryabhatta talking about the number zero. Then he's Alexander Graham Bell talking about the telephone, and he's telling people how it's going to revolutionize things. But in every age, there is disbelief, there is all of this, and there is a bunch of other things. So we made this using a consistent character, and this was one of the first films that we ever made using a consistent character. So it was a lot of fun. I'm going to play this for you, and this is what I'm going to break down today. And I'm going to show you exactly what the process is and how this particular piece was made and how you can repeat the same process and basically make yourself the hero of any story you want. Okay, ready for it? Let's go. Let me play this. Yeah.
Food grows. No more mammoth chasing.
Or we just stab buffalo.
Clean teeth, fresh breath, brush every day, meat, toothpaste.
We wrap the dead, now we brush the living. Madness.
It is nothing, but it will make everything possible.
Jahan, your cousin's farming, your brother is trading, and you, butcher, drawing nothing all day.
And one day, we fly! Mi amor, I will finally see you fly! Woohoo! Imagine hearing your wife from across the world.
Not my wife!
I know new ideas sound ridiculous at first. Stay curious and stay ahead in the AI first world.
Yeah, so are we ready to stay curious and stay ahead? Yeah. Let's take that as a topic. And are you interested in building these kind of scripts for yourself? Are you interested in knowing the process that basically allows you to do stuff like this? It is very, very important from a point of view that you're able to tell your own stories. You're supposed to be able to cast yourself in different scenarios. Whichever story you need to build, you will need to build a story around a character. And that's the topic of discussion today. That is the first half of what we are doing. And we are going to see how to basically build these assets from the ground up. Right from how to create the images, right from how to translate those images into a storyboard and basically take that storyboard and make animation out of it so that you can make a bunch of clips and put them together and tell a story, right? The process is very simple. We are going to go super in depth into it. We are going to take every step slow, and we are going to break down every step in process so you can exactly be able to replicate this. Yeah. All good? All set? Can I see some energy in the chat? Yeah. All up for this? Awesome. So I'm going to share a different screen now. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now. Yeah? Okay, cool. Let's go. Let's do this. Okay. So I've just put a small sheet here. What I'm gonna do is take you guys. So let's say consistent character. Okay. Now, whenever we are trying to make a consistent character, whenever we try to do something, how I like to break it down is basically I break my process down into 3 stages. Yeah. The first stage of the process is basically when you're creating the assets. What are the assets, if you would ask? The assets are basically the building blocks that allow you to build a story on top of it. Okay. The assets basically consist of the character itself. Now, this character, we are going to take Weber as an example. What I want you to do in the meantime that I'm describing this, considering Web's film that I've just showed you, I want you to suggest me a scenario which we will be building now. So say Weber in ancient Rome, or Weber as a gladiator, or Weber as a Second World War hero. I want everybody to put in a small suggestion, and maybe we will pick one and actually build something live just to show you one more sequence of Weber. Yeah. Okay. So in the meantime, the first stage of creation is basically asset creation. In asset, what we will do, like I said, we are going to define the character. For us, we are going to take Weber as an example of the character. Then the second part is we are going to define what is the costume. What is Webhub going to be wearing in the film or in the image itself? The third thing is the location. What is the location in which Webhub wearing this costume would be seen in? So, for example, if Webhub is an ancient gladiator in Rome, then as a character is Webhub's character. What is the costume? The costume is going to be of a gladiator in ancient Rome. And what is the location going to be? The location is going to be probably like a fighting pit of some kind with some kind of spectator, or a stadium of some kind, where this entire action is going to happen. Okay. So this is the first stage of creation. This first stage of creation for us will be done using multiple tools, but the main tool that we'll be using here is multiple image diffusion models. Where will we be using them is the main question. The answer is a website called Replicate. Okay. So Replicate is where we are going to be building all these assets. After this comes image compositing. Okay. Now, once all these 3 things are made and we have logged them, we will need a particular image diffusion model where we can bring all of these separate things, combine them into one single image. Okay. So after this process is done, we will have Weber in a gladiator's costume along with a scene, and we will need to combine these two. So in the storyboard stage, what we will do is that we will be combining all of the assets that we have created to build a consistent narrative. Okay. That is the second part of the process. This part of the process is going to happen using something called runway references. Okay. Runway, as you might be familiar with this tool, is one of the first and one of the most amazing video production tools. Runway also has a very, very good imaging backend, which is called Runway References. And as the name goes, Runway References, what references allows you to do is input multiple images into one window and allow you to create composites out of it. It's a great tool. There are multiple ways of doing this. You can do this on Nano Banana, you can do this on Whisk, you can do this on a bunch of other things. Runway is one of my favorites because of how simple and straightforward the process is. And lastly, we will be animating the whole thing. Animation stage will include taking our storyboard images, inputting them into an image to video conversion model, which is going to be Kling for today. Okay, Kling is one of the best out there. They recently have a 2.5 model out, which is absolutely insane. We'll be using the 2.1 Master or the 2.1 Pro model today, but this entirely what you see on the board is going to allow you to fully make these kind of storyboards for yourself. Okay. As we are doing this, I'm going to quickly have a look at the chat and I'm going to see what is the most interesting suggestion out there. Yeah. Let me just have a look at the chat. Okay. I'm pretty sure there are going to be some interesting and very good ones. Okay, let me go up. Okay, there's a lot. There is a lot. There is a lot. I wish there was some kind of voting on this. Weber was Goku. I like that already. Weber was a monk. Weber was a Martian. Weber was Terminator. WWE fighter, Doctor, God in Egypt, Iron Man. Weber was PM. Weber was Arjun in the Mahabharata. Interesting. Weber in the Olympics. Delhi Chandni Chowk. Bahubali, King was a WW2 fighter pilot. This seems interesting. WW2 fighter pilot. If he's a World War II fighter pilot, this kind of seems interesting. We can make some very dynamic shots out of this. Yeah. I think it's a pretty good suggestion. World War II fighter. Let's see any other web on the moon. I basically want to do something history-like so we can build a world around it. If we do something from today, it becomes like a very normal thing, right? Where Superman, 1942, Avengers, Ramayana. Let's do World War II pilot. I like that. That's quite, it'll allow us to give it like a good, yeah, World War II pilot is good. Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, if we all agree on it. It'll allow us to build some beautiful World War II imagery. Yeah, I see a lot of thumbs. That's amazing. Okay. Okay, so let's deep dive into it. Let's do WebHub as a World War II pilot. Okay, let's cancel this for now. Okay, before we do anything, this is Replicate. Okay, what Replicate is, Replicate by itself is not an AI model. Replicate is a host website. What Replicate does is that it allows you to log into the website and it allows you to use multiple different types of AIs. Okay, for example, this is the Replicate home page. I can just go on to explore over here. And you see there are image models, there are visual models, there are language models. You can use any of this. So, whenever I'm doing a new project, I like to see what are the latest image models out there. And I like to explore different image models. I don't usually like paying for individual subscriptions because it sort of gets me stuck in one particular part and doesn't allow me to, use different models. So Replicate is a very great platform because I'll tell you why. If you go to pricing on Replicate, what Replicate does is Replicate doesn't have a subscription model. What you can do on Replicate is basically do a particular prepaid recharge and only pay by what you use. So if you don't use, then you don't need to pay. Okay. So for example, if I go to billing, what I've done is I have put a monthly credit, say $150. I've just put on as a prepaid thing. And I've used currently this month only $44. So I'm actually just paying for what I'm using. I'm not paying for the entire subscription cost. So it is a great model for me because I can, if I'm using for just $10, I can just pay $10. If for some month I'm using $200, I can pay $200. So I'm not married to it in terms of having a subscription or anything like that. So it's a great tool. You guys should log on to it. Sometimes they have free credits when you join in. So it's great. You can explore it that way. Even I started exploring it that way. Okay. So for us, what we need to do in the very first stage of it is basically create the costume of the character and the locations in which WebHub is going to be seen as. Okay, so consistent character, what are we doing? We are doing a a World War II pilot. Okay, let's say he is a World War II pilot and he flies, let's say, a Mustang aircraft for the US. Okay, let's cast him Mustang. Okay, Mustang aircraft for the US. Okay, so let's say he does that. The first thing that we have to do into Replicate is come to explore. And when we go to explore, we want to go and see what are the image models out there that we can use to make WebHub's costume. Okay. Now when you come here, you'll immediately see there is Google Imagen 3 Fast, there is Seed Dream 4, then there will be Imagen 3, which is one of my absolute favorite models, incredible amount of prompt adherence. Then there is Imagen 4, there is Nano Banana. So everything that you want to use, you'll pretty much find here. So what we are going to do is we are going to do a slight model comparison and do 2-3 different kind of image sets, not just do one. We will try the same prompt on 2-3 different image models and we will see from where are we getting the best result and we'll use that. Okay. So for this test, let's do Seed Dream 4. Let's also do Imagen 3, which is my favorite model, let's do Imagen 4. Then we also want to try a Flux model, maybe like a Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra, which is again another amazing model. It should be somewhere down here. Okay, Flux Pro Ultra. Okay, so let's say we are going to test. Okay, another thing. Once you click on a model, okay, and you open this model, the model for you is going to open up. The best thing about Replicate is that all these models do not have different interfaces. They basically have the same interface. Okay. So when you log on to a model, for example, let's go to Imagen 3. So this is Google's Imagen 3. The first thing you will see is the publisher of this model. If you also click on Google, you will be able to see what are the different models that Google is offering. So there is Imagen 3, Imagen 4, then there is Nano Banana, Fast, Google VO3 can be used here. Every model that probably Google has, it's over here. Yeah. So whenever you log into the model, the first thing you'll see is the maker of the model. Then you will see which particular model are you using. Okay. Below that is some image. Official is basically, this is Google's official model. It's being run by Google. How many people have basically used it? Out here is what is the most important information. Okay. If you hover over this, you will be able to see that for $1, how many images can you generate? So right now it says for $1, it will give you around 20 images. So it is 0.05 cents per image output. So this is, now if you go to every model's cost is different. C Dance is cheaper. It is giving you 0.03. So for $1, you'll get 33 images. Then you can go to Imagen 4. See, Imagen 4 is a bit more expensive for 25 images for $1. Flux Pro Ultra is the most expensive, 16 images for $1. So this also allows you to see which model you want to use too much, which model you don't want to use too much. Okay. Now, the first thing that we have to do in our assets is, what do we have to do? We have to basically build out our costume for the character. This is the first thing that we have to build. Character we already have. We already have Weber's photo. So this is going to be our character whenever we are going to go into our compositing stage. So this can be your photo. So your photo is the first thing you need to have. Of course, you will have that. So this is your first thing. The second thing we will do is create the character, create the costume in which this character is going to be seen. Okay. To do that, what I will do is come to my ChatGPT. In my ChatGPT, I already have a pre-trained image prompter, which is my image prompter that I use on a day-to-day basis. This is something I have trained over time, and this is my own image prompter. You can use your own image prompter. You can just go to the Google GPT store, and there are hundreds of prompters out there. They are pretty incredible ones. Okay. So I'm going to write a very simple prompt saying, give me an image prompt for a World War II fighter plane pilot in full gear. I want him in all the gear possible because he's going to fly the aircraft, right? So let's say, okay. So immediately as I put that, my image prompter is going to action, and it's going to give me a very, very detailed prompt. Yeah. Okay. So my prompt is getting written. I'm just going to go ahead and basically copy this. Okay. So my image prompt is copied. After my image prompt is copied, I will basically go into my first model. What is my first model? My first model is Sea Dream. I'm just going to paste this. Okay. My image prompt is pasted here. In terms of size of the generation, I'm going to keep it to say 9:16 or maybe 3:2 because I want a vertical thing for now. Okay. There's no specific, I'll just run this. Okay. As this is running, I'm going to go into Google Imagen 3, copy the same prompt here, and you will see, like I was saying, all the interface is the same. So there's no learning curve to it. If you go there, the first thing you'll find is your prompt that you're supposed to put in, and whatever parameters these models will be displayed on this side of your screen. So the more number of parameters it has, the more number of parameters you'll see displayed. So Google Imagen has very less parameters. It's a very simple model to use, and I'm personally a fan of stuff that is simple to use. So aspect ratio is 3:4, filter is okay, final output format is JPG, and I'm going to run this. Similarly, I'm going to go into Imagen 4, paste the same prompt, and we'll do a comparison. We'll put all of these images together and we'll see which one is the best one. Okay. Now, when I move on to Flux, you will see Flux has more number of input parameters. So the more number of input parameters, everything will be basically displayed here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is basically paste the same prompt. I'm not going to touch any of this too much. I'm going to go to 3:4 is what I'm generating in the different ones, or 3:2. Am I doing 3:2? 3:4. Okay. So same 3:4, and I'm just going to do run. Okay. Now let's go to Sea Dream. Okay. Maybe, I have done one mistake is I have gotten an image with a full plane in the background and all of that. I don't want this. I basically want a clean image on a white background. Yeah. This is something I've missed when I've done that. So always remember that it should be a clean image on a white background. So I'm going to go here, just edit my prompt, pilot in full gear. say on white background. Okay, white background. And I'm just going to run this. So why I'll tell you we want it on a white background is when we are taking these images to the storyboarding stage, you will see that we are very, very specific. We will say that from this image, I want you to extract the costume. From this image, I want you to take the face of the character. And from the third image, I want you to be inspired by the location. So in this image, I don't necessarily want my location to be displayed. Okay, it just confuses the model. Okay. So same step, not changing anything. I'm just pasting the prompt and I'm running them. Seed Dream, Imagen 3, then Imagen 4, and finally Flux. Okay, let's run these. Okay, okay, nice. This is the kind of image I'm looking for. Yeah, costume is very clearly displayed. Face is very clearly visible. This is what I'm sort of trying to achieve. Okay. Yeah, this is great. I don't want a mask to be there because Vaibhav's face should be seen, right? So I don't necessarily want a mask. This is also great. This is basically Imagen 4. Yeah. And let's look at Flux. Flux is also great, but Flux is not really giving me a World War II pilot. This gear that he's wearing and the ski mask that he has on doesn't really look like World War II. So let's just rerun that. Let's just rerun all of them and give it like one fresh go. And let's see the results after that. Yeah, but this more or less works. We can be a bit lenient with this. That's not a problem. Okay, that's running. Okay, this is nice. This really looks like a whole. Actually, my aspect ratio is 3:2. Yeah, 3:4. Okay, let's run that. Okay, again, we have the mask. We don't want this. This sort of works for us. This is quite cool. Yeah. The mask is correct. Looks like a World War II pilot. His gear sort of resembles somebody that would wear this kind of gear in World War II. Yeah. This again, Flux, as you see, Flux is not really giving us World War II looking stuff. This still looks very modern. So immediately now we know that Flux is not going to help our purpose. So we are going to close Flux. Yeah. So this is how you, that's why it's important to try multiple models. So you understand what model is giving you what, and maybe for some jobs, some models are good. Maybe for some other jobs, some other models are good. Yeah. So immediately looking at this image, we can eliminate Flux. So I'm going to close it. This is very close. Google Imagen 4 has given us something that is very close to what the correct period look of the pilot should be. Then again, Imagen 3 is giving us a mask, and I'm pretty sure it is there in the subject. Standing tall with helmet, goggles, oxygen mask. Let's just remove this oxygen mask from the prompt, yeah, and run it. Maybe it's going to remove that. Oh, this is perfect. I really like this quality, actually. You know, how realistic this looks. I think Seed Dream is giving us the best output out there. What do you guys feel? Yeah, Seed Dream looks pretty good. Okay. Mask is still not gone. Maybe. So we are going to close Imagen 3. Imagen 3, Flux was the first to be out of the race. I think Seed Dream 3 is also going to be out. Let's close this. Seed Dream 4 and Imagen 4 and Seed Dream is giving us the closest to what we want. Yeah. All of you are following till now? All good up to here? You see how we are testing out different models? Yeah. We are basically, how we are taking the call on this is we are looking at what they are generating and we are asking ourselves, is this accurate to what I'm trying to create? That's the question. Yeah. So sometimes if you are confused, if you want to see if a character is right, do Google and see how the costume would appear and try and see if it's matching. So once we see that, okay, this is a pretty good look, this is also a pretty good look, let's just download these two images, okay? And when I have to download, I just can go below and you will see the download option right here. So I'm going to press that and it's going to get saved, okay? And similarly with this, we are going to go ahead and download this image, okay? So let's say both of our, now what we have done is both of our character images are sort of locked. Sea Dream looks pretty good actually. Yeah. Look at the overall costume, look at the leather, look at the character, the face. Seems very, very accurate. Okay. Imagen at the same time, I think better image quality that way in terms of the textures and stuff like that. But again, Dream has a more filmy, a film grain look to it, which is making it look more realistic. Yeah. I'll do a quick recap. Like once we finish the first stage, which is going to be the asset stage, I will do a full recap of the asset stage also. Don't worry about that. Right now, I want you guys to be clear on character. Character is going to be Vaibhav's character. Right now, we have created the costume. Okay. All good on costume. You saw how we selected the costume, how we eliminated these models, and how we paid only per generation without taking a subscription or an entire month subscription of something I wouldn't use. Now, after this, I need to make my location. Okay, what do I mean by location? My location is basically only downloads are chargeable. No, all the generations are chargeable. You don't get charged per download. Whatever you are basically creating is basically you are paying for that model. Doesn't matter if you download. Downloading doesn't have any extra cost to it. Cancel. Okay, so whatever you're generating, the moment you press run, it gets deducted from your account. You're being charged with the amount of runs you're doing. Okay. Okay, let's take it to the next step. The next step is going to be where we are going to be doing our, where we are going to be doing our location. Now, when we are doing location, right, what we have to keep in mind is Vaibhav is wearing the same character over and over again. Okay, let's say we will do one more costume for Vaibhav. Right now, the costume that we have created for Vaibhav is this. So this is the costume that Vaibhav is going to wear when he's flying the aircraft. Maybe we need one more costume of, say, Vaibhav receiving a medal at the end of the war. So we will need to create that also. Okay, so I will quickly go back to my image prompter. I will just copy the previous prompt. Okay. And I'll paste it here and I'll say, give me an image prompt for a World War II fighter plane pilot in fighter plane pilot. Let's say informal military attire. Okay, maybe we will create 3 shots on a white background. Okay, let's do the list of shots that we are going to create. Let's say Vaibhav, I'll just write V for Vaibhav, walking up to his plane. Okay, this is maybe shot number 1. Okay, where Vaibhav is on the runway walking up to his aircraft. Then maybe Vaibhav flying his aircraft. Okay, then maybe Vaibhav in a dogfight. Okay, sorry. Vaibhav in a dogfight, and then lastly maybe Vaibhav getting a medal. And this is how our short story of Vaibhav is unfolding. Okay, so right now we have to make these 2 things: Vaibhav in a dogfight, Vaibhav walking up to his plane, and Vaibhav in an aircraft. So maybe in these 3 scenarios, Vaibhav is in this costume. Okay, so every time we make a new costume, we will have to create the underlying asset image for it. Okay, so I basically said, give me an image prompt for a W2 fighter plane in formal military attire on a white background. In my prompt format. It has just gone off and written a different prompt format. I don't know if you guys have been using ChatGPT for a long time, but I have been using ChatGPT for a long time now, and this ChatGPT 5, trust me, I'm not a fan of it. I think, but that's with all of the ChatGPTs. Like, it takes them a bunch of time to sort of clear the fog and just come to reality for a while. Okay, so now second image. Now this is the image where Vaibhav is supposed to be receiving a medal, right? So I've just copied the prompt onto Dream, and I'll only be using Dream and Image Gen 4 this time because we have already eliminated Flux and Image Gen 3. Okay. Am I confusing you with the names of the models? I can put down the names of the models in the chat once this consistent story part of it is done, in case I'm going too fast on it. I'll do that. I'll write down all the image generation models that we tested, and we'll do that. Yeah. Actually, I'll put them right here as they are replicating. So in Replicate, we are using Imagen 3 and 4. You guys can take a screenshot of this. And I'm also using Flux Pro Ultra. I'm also using Seed Dream. Okay. Yeah, these are the ones we used. What we liked is Imagen 3 and Seed Dream. Okay. It's still generating. Let it take the time. Okay, yeah, this is the formal attire we want. Correct? This is the attire in which he's receiving a medal. So Imagen 3 is already done. Seed Dream is already done. Imagen 4 is stuck. Let's run this again just for time's sakes. She shouldn't be taking this long, actually. It's pretty fast. Let me just refresh the page. Yeah, it's already done generating. Yeah, super. Love it. See, this is exactly what we want. This is the dress in which he's going to receive the medal. So what I'm going to do, I'm quickly just going to download that and I'm going to keep it aside. I'm really loving what Sea Dream is doing. Do you see the quality difference? See how cinematic this is. See how real this looks versus this. This also looks real, but I just feel the Sea Dream output is so much better today. I don't know which one you guys prefer, but this on my monitor is just looking very, very real. Okay. So we have two costumes. We have where one is this. Yeah. Look at this. Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah. But I feel this is just a photograph. Like I'm just like considering the skin texture and stuff. Pretty amazing. Okay, so right now, with that being said, our costume generation is complete. We have 4 costumes with us. We can try which works for us, which doesn't work for us. Now what we need to do is create the locations in which we will be seeing WebHub. Same thing we're going to do. We're going to be using our image prompter to create the locations. Okay. Now, we are going to be using Imagen 3, Imagen 4, and Seed Dream again for this. Yeah, same thing. What I'm going to do is quickly go to my image prompter. I'm going to write. Now, the two situations we are seeing WebHub in is basically, first he's walking up to his aircraft, right? That is the first scene we want to create, WebHub walking up to his plane. So now WebHub, with his costume we need to create a scene where we just see a plane on the runway, which probably WebHub is walking up to, right? So I will say, write me an image prompt. Set in an airfield in World War II where a Mustang fighter is being refueled, fueled and kept and reloaded on the tarmac. Okay. Let's see. So basically, we want like the open airstrip. We want like a nice tarmac. We want aircraft being fueled, or some people basically working on it, suggesting that, it's getting prepared for something. And we will then compose WebHub walking towards it. Yeah. And then he's going to jump into the aircraft and he's going to get into the air. Okay. So we have our prompt ready. Okay. It's almost ready. Okay, that's ready. So we're going to jump into Imagen 4. Now, when we are creating this, because this is a wider shot, we don't want this vertical format. What I'm going to quickly do is switch to 16:9. 16:9 is finally going to be the aspect ratio in which I'll be creating my video. So I'm just going to run this prompt. Similarly, I'll be running the same prompt on Seed Dream 4. This time, I'm more concerned about the location. So I'll do 16:9 and let's run this. And I will have my bet on image, like, I think Seed Dream again. I'm just looking at the chat in case you guys are following, right? All good? You want me to slow it down in any chance of pacing it up? You guys can let me know, yeah? Okay, all good, yeah? Okay, again, Seed Dream, I think pretty good generation, but okay, this is not exactly the angle I want as such. It seems like our prompt never got pasted over here. Okay, so run it again. Yeah, but Sea Dream looks pretty good. Let's run it again. Okay, what we want is a nice airfield to be shown. One plane in the background. I don't want any pilot as such on it because our pilot is Weber. Okay, this shows a pilot. Maybe I'll have to prompt for the pilot not being there. Okay, this is pretty nice. This looks like pretty cinematic. Maybe I will just go back to my image prompter and I'll say no pilot and sunrise. Let's put some epicness into it, you know, and I'll just say no pilot and sunrise. Okay. So right now it's looking good, but it's just not looking like cinematic as hell, right? So let's try that. Uh, so there's a lot of question. So I'm using a ChatGPT bot to create the prompts, and I'll tell you, this bot is basically nothing but a mix of a few different ways of prompting. But if you go to the ChatGPT store, which I'm trying to just log into right now, if you go to image prompting, you'll find a whole list of bots. So I will try and suggest that how we tried different image models to create different kinds of images. Please go and try. Actually, I'm going to go into Explore. Yeah. So if I go to Explore and I type, say, image prompt, okay, and search this, you're going to find a whole bunch of tools. So similarly, like, you know, I like to try everything before I commit to one. So here also, if you go, you will find a whole list of image promptings. So you can just open any and, you know, try out like whichever works for you. Yeah. And you can see combinations and you can see that, okay, then you want to say design your own bot. What I have done with my GPT is basically trained it over 2 years. I have been constantly, you know, updating the information, changing the way we are writing the prompts. So it has taken a bit of refinement. Okay, let me copy the new prompt where I do not want the pilot and I want a sunrise in the background to make it just look a bit more epic. Okay, and let's say run these two prompts, and I hope we get like a very fantastic looking image. So don't worry about this consistent, like, you know, us exceeding characters. That doesn't hamper with the output. It's fine. Okay, this looks, yeah, nice. Like he's gonna take off and do something about it. Everything's being reloaded. A bit wider shot will be nice. Yeah, this is also on point, but the aircraft looks a bit. Yeah, let's go with this. I think this is pretty nice. I think Sea Dream is again killing it. Like there's a huge amount of difference between how this image looks and how this image looks. Like this also looks good, nothing bad about it, but I don't know what's happening here. You have a mixture of different kinds of aircraft made into one. Yeah. Yeah, the fuel pipeline also turns into the bullet roll. Yeah. That is, oh, yeah, this is a problem. Let's run it again. Yeah, we don't want, we want this image to be as good as possible. If there are any problems with this image, those problems are going to carry over to the problems that we are going to create. Yeah. So you really want to focus on this image being correct and everything around it being okay with up to your expectations. Let's rerun this also as we are running it. So might as well just run this. Again, this is getting converted into this. Maybe I'll just change this part of the prompt. Yeah. Let's just look for fuel truck hose attached to people. Let's just remove the fuel truck with hose. Okay. Okay, let's remove the hose part of the fuel truck. I think it'll solve the problem. So what I've deleted is just that hose line. This still looks fine. This actually looks quite realistic. This actually looks fine. Yeah, let's just keep this downloaded. This is actually nice, not bad. This is what we're talking about. Yeah. Sun is there. This angle is also nice for him to sort of walk into the frame. This by itself, this image looks much better than what we had earlier. So maybe just download this and let's keep this for now. Okay. Let's say after this, what's going to happen? Let's plan our storyboard in a way. So Weber walks up to the aircraft. Yeah. As he's walking up, we need an inside shot. Okay. We need, say, I'll just say create a prompt for prompt as a point of view of a Mustang pilot in World War II, about to take off from a runway. I'm just planning my shots out, and I'm doing this on the go. So what I'll do is I'll open a small deck and I'll just put the shots together just for us to have an idea how this is flowing, yeah? Okay, the out prompt is out. Let's copy this. Sibling. Okay, I'm gonna copy this. Go back to my prompters. Paste this. Paste this. Let's run it. Okay, this is also running. In the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put whatever images are there in one flow. So maybe this is the first shot that I'm starting with. Okay, so I'm gonna put it here and I'm just gonna make a board out of it. So we have like a storyboard of what we are trying to create, yeah? Okay, so Webber is going to go and he's going to basically get into this aircraft. After this, Webber is going to take off. So we'll have something like this. Of course, this is not the correct sort of cockpit view. This again is not the correct cockpit view. So let's run it again. Let's see if we get something better. Let's say in the image prompter, because now we have a front angle, maybe we do a reverse angle as well. Okay. Pilot flying in cockpit of Mustang. Okay. Let's just get one of that. Okay, for some reason, these planes are also coming the opposite way, so this doesn't work at all. This could work in some way, although I know this is not accurate to what a P-51 Mustang cockpit would look like. So let's just run it again, but let's run both again. But I'm just loving the output that's coming out of Seedream today. Yeah. Where am I pasting the images? I'm pasting the images on just a simple, what do you call it? Like a keynote presentation, just to show you all the images together, you know. This seems nice. This seems nice in a way. This looks like these planes are about to take off. Yeah, this also seems nice, but damn, Seedream is just on fire today, I think. Okay, so after this shot, we are going to see, say, this shot. Okay, so let's just make this smaller. So you see how I'm putting the story together on the go? So whenever you are creating stories of yourself and whenever you're doing this, make sure that you have like a storyboard like this lined up. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult to keep track of things. AI can throw so many good options at you in such a short amount of time. Personally, it confuses the hell out of me. So I need to like see things visually on a board. So whenever I'm editing also, I'll always refer to this storyboard and sort of look at it and understand this is what I'm trying to do. Okay. So after this, I want a reverse shot of WebHub, which is going to be this prompt. So I basically said, create me a reverse of the pilot. So again, going into Seedream, and I think it's Seedream's day, by the way. You can bet money this is going to be the one we use. I don't even know why we are trying with Imagen 4, but it's good to see the difference. We can look at both models and be like, okay, this is better and that is that. Yeah. Sorry, Priyanka was using, please help. Awesome. Which tool is good for storyboard like Priyanka is using? I'm just creating the images, Kashyap, and I'm putting in, oh, this is nice. This is nice. This is nice. Yeah. Wow, there's a head-on collision right here. Yeah, if you ever want to see a head-on collision, like that is the definition of it. Yeah. Let's see. Come on, Seedream, we are all pitching for you today. I think it's ByteDance day today. Okay, there is a head-on collision for some reason. I'm just gonna check my prompt, yeah? Okay, because in the mid-ground, it's saying that the nose of the P-51 Mustang with spinning propeller blow, which it means is the blow from here, but it's considering that as another aircraft. So maybe I'll just have to modify my prompt. And I will say, I can just go back and edit this and say pilot flying in the create a reverse of the above prompt capturing a close up of the pilot's face. Let's say that. So we see the face as such. Right now, I didn't see the face. That was my mistake, that it kept giving me the same angle as that before. Yeah. So let's see. Let us finish this. Interesting stuff. I don't know. It looks like a runway in the sky for some reason because the clouds are below it. I do like this image that Google is making, though. But let's see. But it's just so accurate to World War II. This looks like exactly how these World War II movies look like, and the color palette and everything. Quite impressed. Quite impressed. This is the first time I'm actually trying a period sort of look on Sea Dream, and trust me, I am surprised. Like, I never knew Sea Dream would be this good with. Yeah. So I think that's the beauty of AI. Every time you try something different on it, it tends to like shock you. So yeah, amazing. Okay, so we are running Imagen 4 again, and we are running Sea Dream again. And I think everyone is lending towards Sea Dream and how it's looking, right? Yeah, Sea Dream is very good. I agree. Perfect. Super. Damn. This is so good. Oh, guys, our film is gonna look so good. I can already tell you. Nice. Let's save it. Loving it. Okay. So if you look at our storyboard, is just getting better and better, by the way. Yeah. So WebHub is now going to be in this. So once we are done with this, right, we are going to replace WebHub's face here. We're going to change his face here. So we're going to, right now, we're just putting the board together, but it's already starting to look like something, right? It already is starting to look like, okay, this can make a film, like it can be a small sequence or such. Okay, what is the next shot we want? We want WebHub dog fighting. So 2 images we need. We have already shown WebHub, his face. We have established that he's the pilot who's flying. So maybe we need one POV shot of, say, WebHub chasing another plane, and we need one long shot of WebHub's plane from the outside. And after that, we can go to a final shot, which is him receiving the medal. Okay. So right now, I'm going to go back to my image prompter, and I'm going to say, give me a POV of the pilot high in the sky in a massive dogfight. Yeah, I'm getting super excited because we are probably going to try 2.1 master on this, and Kling is just amazing with these kind of visuals. And I think we're going to get something really amazing really looking today. Okay, super. Let's go. So this shot is supposed to be of when WebHub is looking out of the aircraft, and he's probably firing into another aircraft as such. Whoever gave the suggestion, very good one. Okay, let's run this. Again, Money says Sea Dream is going to win. There's such a huge difference between Sea Dream and Google's image today. Like, it is so much visibly better. It is shocking. Weber walking up to the aircraft. Okay, this is a bit too much. Yeah, this looks like a video game wallpaper. Yeah, this is what we're looking at, but this looks like a rocket ship right now for some reason. So WebHub walking up to the aircraft, guys, what we are going to do is that in this image, we are going to include WebHub walking up to the aircraft. That we will do using Runway. We can also do it using Nano Banana, or we'll try doing it using Runway. Yeah. So so we'll see him walking up here. So that's going to be our first shot, by the way. Yeah. And let's see. Okay, this is okay, but Sea Dream, oh, come on, this is just overloaded with graphics. I'll just say make it more cinematic. Have the POV chase an enemy aircraft while firing at it. Let's say bomber squadron in the distant background. Let's say Webber is fighting like these, these fighters that would linger outside a bomber squadron, like trying to protect them. So maybe Webber is having a dogfight over there. One-on-one dogfight. Yeah. Less massive, true. It won't be so massive. If you're going for a realistic zone, this is definitely not what a World War II dogfight. And for some reason, his handle converts into a pistol, which he can actually fire through his windscreen. So that is pretty nuts. I typed white. Somebody said I typed white. Aircraft white. Yeah, while. So you'll find a lot of typos in my typing. But okay, let's see if we get it. Otherwise, we'll have to correct the Jesh. Let's see if we get something more realistic this time. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Okay, again, a bit too heavy. I think Google is gonna go take this because Google is sort of drafting the realism. But it's converting. Let's do another 2 runs, and if it doesn't work, we'll move on to the next one. I don't want to take all of your time in the image generation part. We have to turn these into videos also, but turning into videos is much lesser. Okay, I'm gonna manually edit the prompt. Say cockpit frame, pilot's gloves and throttle lag, gun sight glowing faintly, canopy edges, crashes and reflections, enemy fighter banking hard, trace of flight across the sky, zoom towards his beginning background. Okay, I'm gonna delete the background and run this because the background is what creates a lot of the noise. Okay, this should be a much cleaner image. No, it's not. It's still not a very clean image. Okay, I'm gonna say too much chaos. Single one-on-one dogfight. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if this solves our problem. Okay. We want to go as real as possible. We want to see like, okay, this is okay, but again, like too many jets, too many fighters. I hope this prompt solves the problem. Since again, this guy is, we are facing a problem with this shot. Okay, this is the part of I think this is the part where you are troubleshooting and you're actually trying to find a solution. Okay, let's try the restructured prompt if this helps with anything. Okay, this is not actually a bad image because the moment we run it, this is gonna fly past, so it's gonna have like a good moment out there, which is what I'm hoping. This still looks a bit realistic, right? This is more towards what we are trying to achieve in terms of the cleanliness of what it is. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'll move on from here after this image. Okay, this will still work because I can just make it fly out. Yeah. Okay, let's take one of these. I think this is the most realistic we have got versus this. This looks too manufactured. This looks real. Okay. We'll keep both. Okay. I'll just keep it here. Delete this actually. Okay. And we just need 2 more shots and we are sort of done. I want, say, long shot now of dogfight. fight, dog, fight. Camera follows a Mustang. Basically one wide shot to just show the entire atmosphere, and then we are moving on to the medal shot. Yeah, and then all of our assets are going to be done. Clear on assets. You see how I've structured all the assets? So we have gone, the asset stage is basically going to take you from having a rough document that looks like this to something that looks like this. Yeah, you should be able to visualize while you're trying to create already at the asset stage. The storyboard stage is supposed to just define it better because we are already somehow at the storyboard stage. Yeah. Okay. So after this, okay, is the prompt done? Yeah, the prompt is done. Let's just copy and create this. Let's run this. Okay, we're running. Okay, a lot of questions about the prompting structure. Don't worry about the prompt structure. I can put the prompt structure in the chat later. You guys can just put the prompt structure in your GPTs and say, write me the prompts in this format. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's just like any other prompt structure. There's nothing too much to it. You know, it works with some models, it doesn't work with some models. It's like super subjective. Like if you try to put this structure into Nano Banana, it'll go crazy because Nano Banana is such like a straightforward prompting structure. This is more tuned towards Flux and Imagen and stuff like that. Okay. So, okay, I think we have this image, which sort of does our wide shot. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just quickly drag that image. And last is the medal image. And then our story will be complete. Okay. So in the medal image, what we are going to do is basically, okay. And after this is the medal image. So I'm going to go to my chat GPT and I'm going to say, let's say, create a ceremony, military ceremony in US in WW2 where a pilot is being awarded a medal. Yeah, this is our last shot. I'll come to the storyboard now. Don't worry. We're just completing the asset stage. The asset stage is the longest part of the process. Once you're building with the asset stage, storyboard stage is faster. The video stage is even faster. Yeah. You guys are on game. I just want this to be as detailed as possible so there is no speck of doubt in your minds in terms of how to go about each and every specific thing. Yeah. Okay, so let's paste this, which is our last, which is where Vaibhav is supposed to get his medal. Okay. See, is generating. Okay, cool. Something like this works. Okay, this is, again, Seed Dream is just killing it today. Okay, I'm just going to keep this for now. Yeah, I'm going to compose Vaibhav's face there. Okay, so let's say this is our last shot. And even the resolution is 2K, by the way, of all the images we are generating from C-Dream, and it can even go up to 4K. So pretty interesting results. So our assets are done. Okay, these are all our assets. Okay, the only thing that I have not included in the board are the costumes. Let's select which are the final costumes. Let's say this is the final costume. We are going to go with the Seed Dream image. And for the medal, this is going to be, we don't need his costume. We can just select the guy's costume only, okay? Let's say, we can just paste Vaibhav's face here. We don't need to create another costume for it. All we'll need to do is create Vaibhav in basically this costume over here. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into the second stage. Okay, with that, our asset stage is sort of done. This is what all your assets should look like. We are clear on assets. Give me a huge thumbs up if you're clear on assets. Any confusion on assets, we will come back to this in the Q&A. We will also discuss it, but yeah. So from prompting, go to replicate or any host website like that, create all your assets. What are the most important things in assets? The most important things in assets are your character, which is you, yourself. What is the costume, which we have gone and prompted for and then created using different image models. We have gone to 2-3 different image models and we have selected one. And we have also done the location after that. Okay, location is also done. Now, all of this is done. We are going to move into image composting using Runway. Okay. For this, we are going to call upon Mr. Runway references. Okay. Now, going to the Runway site. Okay. You guys are all familiar with Runway? Runway is a great, Runway actually started off as a video model. Okay. Their expertise lie in video. It has only been recently that Runway has gotten into image processing and they have released a model called Runway references. Okay. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Runway, I'll just quickly do a 2-minute introduction of Runway. This is the Runway interface. What I'm going to quickly jump into is all tools. So if you are someone starting out there, Runway is a great platform to start with, particularly because within Runway, you can do multiple things, okay? You can generate video, you can generate images, you can generate audio, you can do lip sync, you can remove the background. This is for all your Hagen avatar, all that also, you can remove the background, but if you want to remove background from some shots, you can also use Runway. You can upscale images, okay? You can transcribe, you can do super slow motion videos, you can do Aleph. Aleph is a different tool of Runway, basically where you can take an existing video and create something different out of it, okay? Which I will give you maybe a demo of in the middle when we are doing our VFX section, which is a small section, but it's very, very interesting, okay? Now, Runway has different subscription models, but if you're going to start and you're going to say that, boss, I don't have the bandwidth to buy 10 different products and go buy one image model, go buy one video model, go buy one this, buy Runway. It is a one-piece solution. Like, that is my recommendation. I have no affiliation with it was of such, but this is my suggestion to someone who's just starting out. Don't take 10 subscriptions, take one subscription. Experiment on it. Once you feel confident and you need something else, then you go for it, okay? Now, you can generate videos on Runway very, very easily. I'll give you a demo also if you want later. But right now, what we are here for is to generate images, okay? Now, whenever we have come to Runway to the image model, we see that Runway has a reference model. So the moment it says describe your shot, add reference images or sketch a scene, okay? So what we are going to do is we are going to add reference images. The first thing we want to do is create WebHub in the World War II pilot outfit, okay? So what I'm going to do here very quickly is I already have WebHub's face saved over here. I'm going to click on it. The moment I click on it, WebHub's face is going to get copied here, okay? The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this costume. Okay, this is the costume of the pilot that we have just created. I'm going to drag and paste this onto the second portal. It allows me to, so Runway references allows you to input as much as 3 maximum images, not more than 3. Okay, you can do 1 image also if you want, but 3 is the maximum number of images. Now, my first primary process is to take WebHub's face and compose this face onto this particular image. Now, one thing that I want you to keep in mind when you're using this in Runway, when I'm putting this command in, this guy's face is going to slightly confuse the diffusion process. So what I'm going to do very quickly, I'm going to hover over the image and you will see one quick edit button over here. I'm going to press on the edit button and I'm simply going to draw a black box around his face. You know why I'm doing this is because so that the diffusion model never sees another face. So it can give me WebHub's face exactly as it is, okay? So what I'm going to do is come here and you will see, if you just hover over, you will see the different tools here. I'm going to come to this tool called Draw Shape, okay? In the corner over here on the right hand side is what is the stroke color. That means what is the border of the color and what is the fill color. What is the color inside the box? So usually it is set to no fill. What I'm going to do is push it to black. Okay, I want my border also should be black. My stroke color also should be black. My fill color also should be black. I'm going to simply come here, click and drag and drop one face. Sorry, my border color was white. This should also be black. Okay, both the colors should be black. I'll come here, simply click, draw one black box over his face. Okay, so that this image model never sees his face. So there's no confusion. I'll do export sketch. Now this will get saved here. What I'm going to type as a prompt. Now, Runway's prompting process is very, very interesting. I don't know, did it get saved? It should have been updated by now. Maybe it didn't get saved. Okay. Stroke color to black, fill color to black, draw the black box, export sketch. It has still not happened for some reason. Maybe I'll just refresh the window. Okay, tool mode, webhubs image. This is our sketch. Let's try again. I don't know why it's not happening. Okay, black. Fill color goes to black. Put the black box. Export the sketch. It's still not happening. Very surprising. What I'm gonna do just to save time, I'm not gonna FAQ that. Usually this has always happened. I know it's the first time it's not happened to me. I'm gonna try one last time. I'll just do it in Photoshop just to save time, but this will happen 99% of the time. Okay, black box and export sketch. For some reason, it's not happening. Okay, let me write the prompt in the meantime. Maybe it's taking time to get saved or whatever. So if you hover over the image now, you will see the name of the image. And you can also change this, by the way. If you want to change Weber's name, you can change this. You will hover over this, you will see image 2. So look at my prompt. Now the prompting for this is very, very different. It is very direct and it is very, very simple. Okay. I'm going to write include, one second. Okay. In, say using, I'll type at the rate. The moment I type at the rate, you will see all my image suggestions have come here. So I'm going to just go down and select image 2. Using image 2, create an image of a World War II pilot standing on a white background. Okay. The face of the pilot must be exactly as per the face of the character seen in image. So the moment I type at the rate Weber, so look at my prompt. Using image 2, create an image of a World War II pilot standing on a white background. The face of the pilot must be exactly as per the face of the character seen in Weber. Okay. So ideally, this should already suffice. Okay. I'm just going to create a 3x4 image. Okay. I'm not going to do a 16:9. Let me just press generate. And in the meantime, as this is generating, what I'll just go to do is I'll just go to Photoshop and I'm just going to put a black thing over this guy's face. I don't know why that is not working. It just baffles me for some reason. I don't know if Runway is running an update in the background or what. Okay, black sports sketch. Still not happening. Okay. To troubleshoot this, let me just quickly do it on Photoshop. Okay. Take this guy's image. I'm just going to put a black box over his face. Yeah. And you don't need to use Photoshop. If sometimes it doesn't happen on Runway, use Canva, use an editing tool, like whatever you want to use. It's completely fine. Yeah. So let us look at the result of the images without the black box and after that with the black box. This doesn't take too much time. Okay. So yeah, Weber as the pilot. Okay. But I'll tell you, this can get better. I feel once the black box comes in, it'll automatically get better. Yeah, clear on this runway prompting? Yeah, runway prompting is super, super simple, guys. The more direct you are, the more the straightforward you are, it's easy to get it, okay? So what I'm going to do is just cross that image. I'm going to bring in my black faced image. Okay. Is it loading? Yeah, it's loading. So what I'm going to do, because I have the blackface thing now, so I'm just going to say using image to create an image of a World War II pilot standing on a white background. The face of the pilot must be exactly as per the face of the character seen in WebHub. Okay. Now, the only difference you will see, there's a black box. I've not changed anything in the prompt. Let's see if the generation will have any difference now. Okay. The maximum, we have already reached a good stage where we are somehow there, but I just feel that this can become slightly better. Okay. It's already there, but okay, let's try and make it a bit more. This is pretty accurate, actually. This is pretty good. Yeah. No, image 2 is still the same. You see, if I go using image 2, this is still image 2. Yeah. No, so at the rate sort of disappears. If I just come here, no, and if I type at the rate, and if I click on image 2, you see that at the rate will disappear. It sometimes stays, but if I click on WebHub, because WebHub, you know why it's coming at the rate, it's because I have named him personally. If I did not do this name, no, this picture would have come as image 1. And because I have not named it, that's why it's come like this. Yeah. WebHub's cap seems to be missing for some reason. Okay, let's just put one more in saying the costume, and the leather cap must be exactly as seen in at the rate again, image 2. Let's just say create a cinematic image with a high amount of detail. Okay, let's generate. I think this is it. This is going to give us what we want. AJ, why are you calling me Priyanka? I'm just kidding. So when I say I'm trying to make the image better, what I mean is I'm trying to make the character look more like Weber. Yeah. So although I want the main things like the cap and all of that to be retained, at the same time, I want the character to look more like Weber, you know? So this looks like Weber, but I feel the eyes and stuff are a bit, I feel it can get better, you know? So let's see. I think these two generations should solve the problem. Okay, it has retained the leather cap. Okay, slightly better. Let's do one more. Also, I'll tell you something about Runway. For some reason, unlike other platforms, once you do 2-3 runs, right, the results tend to get like a bit better than the last run. Yeah. Somebody said we still have that's what was bothering me, still has a smiling face. Let's make that the character, let's have a serious expression, right? That's what you're saying. Let's mention that in the prompt. Character must have a serious expression. Serious. Otherwise, Reverb looks like he's like happy to go into war. He's like super excited to go into war. Yeah. Okay. I think this is it. Okay. Let's get this. And then after that, the next job we are going to have is actually combining WebHub into this shot, where we want WebHub to be walking towards the jet. Yeah. Or Weber may be standing here and we will prompt for him to walk into the gym. Yeah, let's do that. After this, we'll have to change Weber's face over here and we'll have to change Weber's face over here. Yeah. Only 3 shots we have to do. The rest are wide shots. Yeah. So see, this is also a benefit of putting this board together, because you will see, okay, I just need to do this in these 3 images. So it's much more clearer when you're seeing it visually versus when you're just, doing a storyboard in a written format. Basically expedites the time you need to do stuff like this. Okay, let's do one last render. Okay, now he's a bit serious. Now he doesn't look too happy to be going to war. Okay. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe another render. I'm just not happy with it. I think another 2 renders and we are good to go. Okay. I think a bit more facial detail would be good. Like, because, the more you render, the more generation loss you'll have later. So the face won't be as accurate as you want it to be. And you should be like really specific about this stuff, like, because, you want to get as close to reality as possible. If you have worked hard on 5 different shots and one shot looks like it's a bit out of the board, don't let one shot sort of devalue the length of your film. Make sure that every shot is worked hard upon and it's as close to perfection as possible. Perfection is difficult with AI. All you can do is try to, if you shoot for the moon, you'll land among the stars. So that's the whole concept of it. Yeah. Body posture is a bit dull. We are not concerned with the body posture yet because we need this image for mostly our costume references. Okay. Okay. Looks okay. We'll take one of these. Let's see this. This is not much. See, the moment we made Webhub not smile, no, it doesn't look like Webhub anymore because he's so smiling and happy all the time. Yeah, but this is still good. Let's take this for now. Yeah. Let's take this as a thing. You guys have made Webhub sad, by the way. Yeah. Whoever suggested Webhub should be serious. But see, smiling Webhub is so much better. Should we just make him smiling across the dogfight? That'd be funny. Yeah, he's so chill. He's like chilled at the dogfight also. Yeah, see, this is more Webhub. Okay, but we'll save this for now. What we will do is, let's say we pick this image. Okay, what we can do is right here, you see the button called reference. Okay, what if we just click here, this will basically just go into the reference panel. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just minus that previous pilot costume image. Okay, I'm going to add the image of our scene, which is here. I want Webhub to be standing right here. Okay, and I'm just going to simply drag and drop this image into runway. Okay, now remember in the stage 2, which is the image compositing storyboard using runway, what we are doing is that we are combining all of our asset images together. Okay, we are combining all of the different images together to make one scene out of it. Okay, so now I will say using this time image 3. Okay, if I go to image 3, you see the plane. Using image 3, create an image of a World War II pilot standing, say, standing next to his aircraft. The face of the pilot must be exactly as per the face of the character as seen in this, which is Webhub. The costume and the leather cap are the costume of the character, let's say. The costume of the character must be exactly as seen as in image 2. Create a cinematic image with a high amount of detail, and the character must have a serious expression. Okay. Now, because we are just going to change our aspect ratio to 16:9, and let's generate. Okay. Now we will see our first scene coming to life in front of us in about the next 15 seconds. Okay. let me look at the chat box. Keep him smiling. Yeah, keep him smiling. He's happy to be on the ground, it says. How to ensure the same prompt generate the same images on reruns and re-executions? Everything else will get slightly different variations of the image. I would not have the consistency if I run it a week later. No, not necessarily. Ashish, if you keep the same prompts and the same parameters, there will be, say, a 20-30% difference in the generations, but mostly you'll be within the same zone. It won't be necessary that, you know, it will be a different thing altogether. Okay. It's generating. See, now this is a composite 3 image shot, so it's taking much more time to process. Yeah. This is interesting for you guys enough. I hope this is not like I actually want it to be like as detailed as possible. Yeah, our first image is coming to life. Okay, super. Okay. I'll say create a wide super extreme, create a extreme wide angle shot. Okay, I want to create a wide angle shot. I think this is too close to start for the beginning shot. Next to his aircraft. You know, sometimes I'll show you this hack. Okay, wait. Sometimes what you can do using runway, and this doesn't work out 90, like it doesn't work out all the time, but sometimes what you can do is, for example, I want Webber say to be standing exactly right here. You know, I don't know, there is something off with the edit today, with this edit button today. But ideally, what you can also do is say your stroke color right now is white. I can draw one white box over here like this. Okay. And I can export the sketch. Let's see if that sketch gets exported. No, man. Today something is off with runway. The sketch is like usually very fast. It just reflects immediately. But I'll show you. I'll show you a manual example. Yeah. Just like, for example, if you want a character to be 1 second. Let's see. If you want a character to say exactly standing, say in one particular position, what we tend to do sometimes is say do this, make a white box, say over here. Create a new layer, stroke, white. Okay. White. Okay. Okay, much better. This shot. Yeah, much better. Yeah, super. Loving this. Exactly the zone I want. Yeah. But I think we will work with this image. What we'll have in the animation, Webber, say walk towards his aircraft. This is already something I like. But what I'm gonna do, just as an experiment to show you guys, I'm gonna cancel that image, bring in the image I just made. Okay, and I'll say using image 3, create an extreme wide angle shot of a World War II pilot standing next to his aircraft, marked aircraft marked out by the white box in image 3. Okay, marked out by the white box in image 3. Okay, let's see if this works. Sometimes it does tend to work, but sometimes that box also comes with the image, so maybe we have to mention that don't include the box in the final image. Okay. So see, Lord, the name of my image can be anything, but the moment I bring it into Runway will just in order of sequence of upload, it will name the images. So if I wouldn't have named WebHub, this would have been image 1. This will always be image 2. This will always be image 3. Okay. Let's look at the new generations. But we already have one that sort of works, which is this. I also like this in some way. Yeah. Let's keep this downloaded. This is kind of nice. Let's see if he's standing in the white box. I will put 50% of my money saying that the white box is also going to appear in the final image. But let's see. That is okay. He's not standing in the white box. Okay, the white box we did after this. So this should be the image where it appears. Yeah, but okay with you clear with runway prompting. Yeah, you're clear with runway prompting in terms of how we are tagging the images, how we are doing this. Yeah. Okay, see, he's more or less where that white box was. The white box was slightly here, but I will stay still in terms of an image. This is a better image. Yeah, for us to be able to prompt for that action. Okay, let's keep this downloaded. Let's look at the last render and then we'll put it in our storyboard. Then we will have to edit the next image. Okay. Now, because the edit is not working, the next image which we are going to be editing is going to be this one. Okay, so I don't think I need to put a black box here because this face is anyways covered with an oxygen mask. So let's see. Yeah, we'll prompt for it and we'll take it as we are prompting it. We'll see the result and then determine if we need to do another one. Okay, so which image have we downloaded? We have downloaded this image. We have also downloaded this image. Okay, so this one or this one. I think this one, right? Because it looks more natural with the people in the background doing some stuff and all of that. So maybe this looks more natural. But there's a dude in the background that has converted into just two legs for some reason. So this, I think we're going to go with this because this is much cleaner. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is just copy this, go into my storyboard, which is this. And in this image, just paste the image. So Webhub is here. Webhub is taking off. Now Webhub needs to be inside the flight, basically. Okay. Let's see the last render. Okay, he is in the white box here. This is most accurately reflected. And it does look a lot more like Webhub, correct? This image, I think, is the best in terms of quality of generation. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's download this. Oh, sorry, not share, but let's download this. Okay, now the second image, which is going to be Webhub flying in the aircraft, okay, which is this. Just gonna copy it here. Just gonna modify the prompt, not write a new one. Using image 3, create a close-up shot. Close up of the close-up, let's say close-up shot of the World War II pilot sitting in his aircraft, marked out. I'll remove this marked out by the white box in image 3. Okay. The face of the pilot must be exactly the face of the character seen in Webhub. The costume of the character must be exactly seen in the one. Create a cinematic image with a high amount of detail. The character must have a determined expression. Okay. Let's run this.
I think the artist in him is chasing for perfection.
Are you guys
Yeah.
getting bored of me doing too many renders?
Yeah, people are little restless about being
The
doing
number of
this.
renders being done. Yeah, but I'm trying to, do the live, the walls you will hit when you'll actually do this. Like I can do one render and show guys this is how it's done and go try it, and then you'll try it and you'll be like, okay, this is okay, this is a bit different. This is not how it is, but okay, yeah.
But people, remember, I think he very rightly mentioned, he's hitting roadblocks and he's trying to unblock because AI will not be good on the go. Like it can't be one shot with respect to text to image models, right? So what you folks are learning is text to image prompting, which is a iterative process. It's a pain, right?
Like it is a pain. It is like pain. Okay.
Okay.
So Webhub is we should keep the oxygen mask on, I think. Yeah. The costume of the character must be exactly the same image too. With the character.
Someone very rightly said it actually in the chat. If we don't know this while we are generating or while we do this, we get frustrated if we don't follow what is being taught, which is a very valid statement. I like
Yeah.
it.
So exactly. That's the whole point. Now you see, I'll show you the problem of not including the black box. Okay, both of the images are VWeb, right? This guy doesn't have a black box. Okay, you see. So now you see in the generation how the eyes are being copied. So it doesn't look like VWeb anymore. So these are roadblocks you will hit. Then you will know, okay, you know what is the problem? The problem is the black box. You need the black box again. So it's stuff like this that you will face when you're doing the generations, and you will see, okay, this is and the solve is very simple. It just needs a black box. But unless you see it done live in front of you, you won't sort of remember. And when you face this roadblock, you will know the exact solution that needs to be done. So simply just put a box. Yeah. Don't worry. There is one more image after that. And then we are moving on to animation. And then in like 20 minutes, we'll be able to wrap this storytelling part of it out. Yeah. Okay. So we're putting a black box. Just export it. So although you're being very specific with Runway and telling it, exactly what you want, but sometimes this information just tends to spill over to the other images. So it's always clever to sort of put a black box into something that you don't want to see replicated in your final image. Yeah. And wearing the oxygen mask. Image 3. So I'm just making sure I'm just writing as seen in image 3 as wearing the oxygen mask. Okay. I think these next two renders are going to be it. Okay. I'll just look at the chat. Okay, some people are actually for it. Okay, take your time. Okay, I'll try and move it a bit faster, 100% for sure. But yes. So after this is the medal image, and then we move on to animation. So I'm saying in the next 20 minutes, we'll be able to wrap up this part of it. And then I'll put it in a timeline and basically show it to you. Yeah. After that, we can move on to some more interesting stuff. Okay. Let's see. So you see, this black box is really important. Initially, we also didn't know about this black box. One day we happened to attend this very quick call that Runway did. And we saw one of the developers who was giving us the demo of the product at this black box. And suddenly it made a whole world of changes. Look at this. Yeah, WebHub's eyes now. Yeah, not anymore different eyes. Yeah. Yeah, so this is pretty spot on. Let's go with this. Yeah. So looks like WebHub. Okay, that is downloaded. So now we have one more image to go, and we are more or less done with our board. Okay, so this is done. WebHub's image comes here. This is going to be the easiest one because we are just going to put a black box over this guy's face, and then we are going to say, just change this character to WebHub. Okay, I would have completely done this in Runway itself. I apologize for having to jump into Photoshop for this, but you can do this on Canva. You can do this on any image editing tool. I just don't know why Runway is bugging out like that today. Okay, so black box goes there over our friend. Just export this. Whatever name. Come back to Runway, cancel our image, and just add the one with the black box. And I'll say, using image 3, create a shot, create a mid shot of the World War II pilot receiving a medal. World War II pilot marked out by the black box. You can also say that marked out by the black box, so it knows who you're talking about. Marked out by the black box, receiving a medal. Okay. Medal. Okay, the face of the pilot must be exactly the face of the character seen in WebHub. Actually, for this, we don't need this medal image because the costume is different in this image, so we can just minus that out. Receiving a medal, the face of the pilot must be exactly the face of the character seen in WebHub. The costume of the character, we don't need this. Costume with the character oxygen mask, we don't need this. Okay, let's just cancel that out. Create a cinematic image with a high amount of detail. The character must have a determined expression and wearing. We don't just need that. Yeah, I think that should be it. Let's see if that render gets us close. Okay. After this, it is the fun part of the day where we do animation. How many of you are familiar with Kling? You guys are familiar with Kling? Give me a thumbs up if you're familiar, or say no in the chat. Then I'll do an intro before I get into it. Kling is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. It's one of the best models out there. I'll show it to you. Super fun to use, super easy to use also. And there's a prompt builder built within Kling, that's what I love. And I think it uses, if I'm not wrong, I'll have to check, but I probably think it uses, let me just check, I forget. I have it open already over here. Kling. It uses DeepSeek as its image model. I'll give you a proper introduction of this before we get into it. But yeah. Okay. Is our image done? By the way, if our image is done, we can jump. Okay. Generating. So in the meantime that this gets done, okay, this is actually getting done. So we should just finish this and then move. Okay, Mr. Weber is receiving the medal now. Yeah, for his flying days. Okay. Let's see which is the best output here we can take. I think this is pretty close to what it is. Yeah. Okay. I'll download this. Yeah. For now. Otherwise, I won't do 10 more renders. Otherwise, I'll end up doing 10 more renders. Okay. So right now, let's look at our board. Now our board is complete. Okay. First two stages of our process of creating a consistent character and telling a story with it is complete. Yeah. Let's delete this image. Yeah, let's bring it a bit up. Yeah. How does this look? We went from just a concept to a fully blown asset generation to a full storyboard in 1 hour. Okay. In no point of time in history, like you have to, like every time that I do this, I feel like it's magic, dude. Like I have been shooting professionally for a decade as a camera person, as a DOP, but now that I'm able to do this in an hour and build a set like this, it just blows my mind. Yeah. I hope all of you try this. But now we are getting into the best part, which is animation, and we will bring these images to life. Okay. So let's close runway for now. And we are going to get into Kling. Okay. So now Kling is one of the most advanced generators out there. There are a bunch of generators today. There is Seedream, Kling, Julio, Google, Sora, Midjourney also has video now. So there's a bunch. It all depends on your personal selection and what you're comfortable with. I personally love Kling because I feel it's adherence to what you're trying to make it do is super, super good. Okay. So if you look at on the left side, you will see Kling has different things you can do with it. What we are interested in is video, which is the strongest point of Kling. Kling also has image, by the way. You know what we just did with Runway? You can do the same thing with Kling here. Kling's format is slightly different, but I prefer Runway because it is just too simple for me and it's like straightforward. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly jump into video and I'm going to just go drop my images. Okay, so which is my first image? Let me just check which is the image I selected. Okay, this is the first image. Is this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is simply just drag and drop my image onto the creation folder. Okay, so once I put my image here, I can basically write in very simple words what I want to happen in this image. Okay, I will say slow. Let's say the camera moves ahead slowly. I'll say slow dolly in. Pilot turns around and gets into the aircraft. Okay. I'm going to run this on, this is on the new 2.5 turbo model. I have never used this, so let's give it like, I think one run. And I will also do this on my trusty 2.1 master, which is a bit more expensive, but let's give it one run there. Okay, so 2.5 is the latest model from Kling. It is supposed to be one of the best models. We have been promised 2.5 for the longest time, but this is the first time that I'm actually using it. I have been wanting to try this out. So I've been doing these Jaguar ads for a while now. A friend of mine made something and he sent me something on the Jaguar. Look at the quality of this. Yeah. Absolutely mad, right? Yeah. So Jaguar ads are like a thing. Now I'm doing my third one. I did one on Gen 2, then I did one on Gen 3. Now I'm doing one on Gen 4. Or I did one on Gen 4. Now I'm doing like 2.5 turbo. So yeah, that's something I keep doing every 2 or 3 months. It's my way of keeping Jaguar alive. I don't know. It started off as a thing. Now it has become like pilot, sorry, turns. Somebody has rightly pointed that out. Turns around. I just said runs around. I just realized. Thank you for correcting me. Okay, let's do that on the 2.5 master as well. Let me DeepSeek it. So the moment I press DeepSeek, right, this is one thing I love about Kling. So the moment I press DeepSeek, my image and my prompt have been sent into the DeepSeek model, and it's going to give me a prompt that it thinks works better, okay? The pilot turns around and climbs into the cockpit of the P-51 Mustang. Do you see how smart this model is? Its metal rear nose gleaming in the sky. The camera slowly dollies in to capture the aircraft's tail as it distant runway planes. Wow, let's use it, okay? Let's say I can just use this straight, right? Oh, so I can just press generate. Okay. So this is generating as well. It'll take up to 2 minutes to generate. Okay. Let's put all of our clips to generation because I don't want to sort of generate one by one. Okay. The second image was what? Is the pilot taking off, which is going to be this image. Yeah. So I'm just going to drag and drop this into Kling again. Let's drag and drop it here. So I'll say aircraft taking off, off. And I'm just gonna DeepSeek this because I don't want to write the whole prompt. So let's say let it give us a nice nice cinematic prompt. Okay. A vintage World War II fighter plane ascends into the sunset sky, propeller spins rapidly, pilot's hands gripping the control stick, warm orange and pink hues intensifies the runway recedes below, camera stationary in the cockpit. Okay, use prompt. Again, runway 2.5 turbo. Okay, run this. In the meantime, let's do the next one. The next one was, okay, now WebHub is basically in the cockpit. I'm just gonna add this image again. Gonna add this image again. Okay, I'll say pilot line. Let me just DeepSeek it. All I need to do is suggest, even if I don't write a text prompt for it, it's going to look at the image and already build out a prompt, which is super helpful. And then you can just go into the pilot adjusts flight controls in the cockpit, fighter jet accelerates through the golden hue. Okay, I'm just going to remove the word fighter jet because I don't want it to be a fighter jet. The fighter plane accelerates through golden hued skies. Afterburners and all, I don't want, man. With a fiery glow. His focused gaze ahead of the canopy reflects the warm sunlight. Camera remains stationary. Okay. Okay, let's generate this as well. Yeah. After this, there is going to be this dogfight sequence. So after this, I'm just going to input the dogfight part of it, which is this. Copy and drop it here. Dogfight World War II. Okay. Again, I'm going to just DeepSeek this. Okay, there. World War II pilot grips the controls stick tightly. And I'm just going to use this prompt. Again, just run this. As you see, I'm just submitting. So my prompts are queuing up. Yeah. Which is the image after that. So after this, we see this image, which is like the wide shot of the planes fighting and dogfighting. So I'm going to input this image, which is the wide shot. Yeah. So I'll say wide shot of World War II dogfight. Dogfight. Okay. Again, DeepSeek this. Okay. This is the best part about DeepSeek. I think the kind of prompts it writes is just super, super fast. There are no dialogues as such, you know. The World War II era military aircraft engaged in fiercely, whatever, large white plane, bang sharply, smoke billowing from the engines while the perceiver climbs vertically in scale of the aerial parts. Okay, use prompt, generate this. Okay, last is our medal shot. Okay, so this is done, which is our last shot, which is this. Okay, and see if even if I don't type anything, and if I just DeepSeek this as it is, it's going to give me a nice prompt as well. Somebody said, could you please show an example of image generation on Kling? So I will suggest don't do image generation on Kling is because, see, when I was doing image generation on Runway, it is unlimited. You can do 2 at a time, but it's on explore mode, so it allows you to explore. Runway, Kling actually charges me credits for per image I do. So I find Runway to be much better because you can do multiple on it. Yeah. A soldier stands as a high-ranking officer, pins a medal to his uniform. Soldier lined up rapidly, breathing, billowing American flag. This slowly zoom in. Okay, done. Okay, all of our clips are right now in render. Yeah. I'll just do one quick refresh. No, actually, I don't need to. This should take another like 2 minutes. Should be done. Let me just refresh it though. Okay, they are actually done. It was taking up time to load. So let's look at them. Okay. The jumps up. I can use the second half of this. This is when I typed runs instead of turns. Okay, he quickly morphs and turns around, gets into his plane. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, this is the turbo model, right? Oh, this is, okay. Yeah, this is nice. This is pretty accurate, right? This is not bad at all. Okay, let's download this. Actually, okay, let's download this. Then, okay, we have some more. Okay, much better in terms of physics. I like how the plane moves also. Okay, let's keep this also as downloaded. Okay. Let's see the taking off shot. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's look at the other one, see which is better. Okay, see, this is more interesting. Let's just download this.
PK, the moment this is done, the phase one
Yeah.
of the video, before we move into the cloning and the personal branding, we'll take a quick break.
Yeah, done. Another 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes actually.
Cool.
Okay, this is where Weber is flying. Okay, super. This is like some nice reflections and stuff. Okay, let's take this. Okay, the second one is actually better. It has much more movement. Yeah. So let's download this. Interesting. Well, let's look at this. Yeah, this is much better. Okay, let's download this. Let's look at this. Nope. Let's hope this one gets us something. Okay, this is interesting. We can use some bit of it. And Weber finally getting a medal. Okay, let's use this. Yeah. Okay, now let's quickly put it together. Let's put a new file. Okay, let's bring our download. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so these are all our clips. Okay, first shot. guy Vaibhav is here. Vaibhav gets in, goes into his aircraft. Let's cut there. Okay. Bring this in. After that, we have Vaibhav taking off. Maybe include a small shot of Vaibhav. No, this is not the one. Okay. Start from here. He takes off. Maybe when the propeller starts spinning, because weirdly the propeller doesn't spin from the very beginning. Yeah. Takes off into the air. Brilliant. Some audio with it also. And then Vaibhav is flying. Include a shot like this. Yeah, you will see the story forming. And after that, maybe do a cockpit shot, maybe do one small shot like this. Maybe give it one small movement and then cut to. So I'm just mixing a few shots here so it looks more dynamic. Okay, let's take it from the bend over here. So it looks like we're actually cutting from inside the same aircraft. Yeah, you see the magic? It's literally how we build films. Okay, let's make it like Vaibhav more focused. Bring in this clip here. Okay. And we need a shot to sort of end this. So maybe the beginning of this clip. Maybe take some of that. Okay. And maybe the beginning of this. Actually, we don't need that. And then we can maybe just have Vaibhav getting the medal. Okay. Yeah, let's just watch it quickly. Let's see what we have done. Yeah, isn't that amazing? To be able to put this together this quickly. I'll just play you the native audio that has been generated from Kling itself, but if we put some music over here, it's gonna look like kick-ass, 100%. Yeah. So let me just unmute this for a second. Let me hear the music. This has the sound effects with it?
Can't hear Priyanku.
Can't hear?
Can't hear. Nope, can't hear. No sound. Yeah. Now. Again, we lost it. Lost it again. Oh yeah, you paused it. Yeah, it was coming. You can play it again. No, can't see the screen now. Yeah, now.
Now all that needs is like a fantastic background score. Why can't I close this audio?
Okay, I think the chat is already buzzing.
The chat is buzzing. Why can't I mute this dude?
Yeah, there's a little echo coming in.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I know. Yeah, should be good now. That echo is
Yes.
because I shut sound there. But you get the idea. It just needs one background track. I promise whenever we have gone for this break, I'll put a background track. Later we can see it if you want. But as a concept, with a person in a story to create something together like this in an hour, I think it's amazing, right? And I want to see all of you. All I hope is all of you are super clear on what we did. I know sometimes with me it can get a bit excessive because I just tend to keep generating until I am happy with what I have. So that's a problem I've had for a while now. But yeah, I think as long as we can agree on the film and if you like it, then that's what matters. Okay, so we'll
Yes.
come back for Hijan. If you want to, Bharadwaj, if you want to give them a break.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, people, how was that? This was phase one of today's session. So we still have one bit of adding audio, which Priyanku will be adding right now during the break. It's not rocket science. You can download any song and just add it using a video editor, right? The which he is using in this case is Premiere Pro, but you folks can use Canva video editor, Clipchamp, Microsoft video editor, anything works, right? But wasn't that so cool? In like last 2 hours, we were able to put up a scene where Weber was just pilot all over the night, right? Which is super, super cool. So what does that mean for all of us? Let's say if you had to create an advertisement for a company that you're working or your company, or if you are a founder, if you want to set up your own advertisement, this is a great use case, right? One of the best marketing use case right now. And in fact, for all of these marketing ads, the click-through rates are over the roof, which is insane, right? So I hope that was a very good informational first 1-2 hours of the session. Now, I would take a quick 6 to 7 minutes break. Okay. 6 to 7 minutes break. Team, can we have 7 minutes on the screen, please? We'll take 7 minute break and we will come back. We will do cloning using AI, and you will learn how to create videos using clones as well, right? So let's get this rolling. So you guys can go take bio break or grab your coffees, and let's see you in next 7 minutes. All right, people, are we all back? Quick yes in the chat if you all are back. Amazing. Never left. Wow, that's what I love. Great. All right, let's get started then. Let's start, Priyanka.
Okay, cool. So as I promised, while you were gone, we have added some Top Gun music to this video because all it needs is Top Gun vibes. Let's look at it, and then we are going to move on to the most special part, which is going to be Heijin. And like all of you have probably thought of and wanted to make videos of yourself, like how WebHub does, we are going to break it down for you in terms of how you can do it, and probably share your videos with your family and friends and shock them in terms of how you have accomplished it. Yeah. So let me play this and then we'll move on.
Wow.
Yeah, all set.
You should send that video to us as well.
Yeah, we'll do that. So yeah, with this, we come to the next part, which is going to be phase 2, which is where AI has really been. Now, what we have seen in phase 1 is basically how to use this process for storytelling, building consistent character. Let me just turn off the audio here. Yeah. So how we have used phase 1. Phase 1 has been completely about building consistent characters, building consistent stories. But where we are going to move to next is going to be much, much, much more interesting, which I think will interest a lot of you also. I'm just going to stop share for a second here, and I'm going to share this screen of it. I have WebHub's Instagram open, okay? And there are these videos that you have seen probably WebHub share, people like Varun Maya share, and this sort of videos are basically killing the internet. And this has become a new gold standard of production with AI, in where the speed of what you can do, the way in which you can sort of supplement and come up with videos is insane, and the reach and the you can already see the reach in WebHub's portfolio. Yeah. Let's look at this video and see how to break it down, how to create videos that you can make of yourself in this format, and what are the elements that sort of go into making videos like this. Let's break down this whole process. So after this, in the next 45 minutes to an hour, you should have all the knowledge to how to make these videos and should be able to make one of yourself in the next 48 hours. Yeah. Let's have a look at this. One second, this is muted.
Memes, this new OpenAI update starts conversations, works overnight, and plans your entire day. Here are the 10 crazy features OpenAI just packed into.
Let me just reopen it.
Sam Altman just made every tech CEO panic, while Sundar Pichai improves search and Elon Musk makes memes. This new OpenAI update starts conversation. Ever ChatGPT talks to you first. No more staring at a blank screen wondering what to ask. It wakes up, researches, and starts your day. 2. Works while you sleep. Every single night, ChatGPT does homework for you. It reads your chat history, calendar, and feedback. Synthesize everything into personalized updates. You wake up to 5 to 10 tailored briefings ready to go. 3. Visual card interface. Everything appears as beautiful visual cards. Quick scan for summaries, tap to dive deeper.
Okay,
no more
cool.
walls of boring
So,
text.
Videos like this have been basically breaking the internet, where creators are leveraging the use of artificial intelligence in terms of creating avatars and then building video pipelines that are allowing them to process content at a scale that is never before seen. Now, what we are going to achieve and try and do today is take you all through the step-by-step process of how this is built in the utmost detail and show you all the different elements around it that goes into making these kind of videos. Okay. Now, one thing you already know is in some of the videos when WebHub is shown using different characters and storytelling, it is perfectly covered in phase 1. So if in case you are shooting a video of, say, you are doing this kind of a content piece about mass, you can basically using runway and the pipeline that we showed you in phase 1, create yourself on Mars doing different things, which can become the background footage, or the BTS is what we call it, which can becomes the background footage of what these videos are. In this session, which is going to be phase 2, we are going to show you how to train a custom avatar using HeyGen that can imitate yourself, through which you can make videos on mass and on scale. Also, we are going to show you how you can actually train a voice using 11 labs that basically both of them stitch together and basically create your online avatar. Okay. Also, we are going to show you something very,
Personal
very important
newspaper
with
designed
these
just
videos.
for
What
you.
happens is, whenever you're doing these kind of videos, one thing becomes very, very important, which is you see these hook shots that are basically the thumbnails. Look at Elon Musk being frozen. Look at this fight that these guys are going to have. So these are called visual hooks. Something that is very, very important in these videos, although you have so much of information packed in, the screen needs to be changing, there needs to be graphics, there needs to be different things happening. So we are going to cover all the different aspects of these kind of videos. And let's start by me sharing my main screen again. Okay. And similarly, sorry. Okay. Okay. Similarly, how we did let's close Premiere. We don't need this anymore. Okay, we don't need this. Okay. What we are going to do is basically open up a new document. Okay. Now, this was phase 1. Okay. This is all what you have done in phase 1. Okay. Now we are going to move on to phase 2. Okay. Let's go into phase 2. Okay. Phase 2 is basically going to be your avatar. Okay. Now, to create these WebHub kind of videos, let's break down a WebHub video. Okay, let's break down a video by any of these creators like WebHub, like Varun Maya, and see what are the different components that actually go into creating these videos. If you break down these videos, the most important component in these videos are the actual virtual avatars. Yeah. Virtual avatar. Okay, the virtual avatar, we are going to be using 2 things to create our virtual avatar. One is going to be HeyGen, okay, and we are going to be using 11 labs. Okay, 11 labs. Okay, what HeyGen is going to do, HeyGen is going to be responsible for the video part of it. Okay, and 11 labs is going to be responsible for the audio part of it. Okay, now whenever you're creating these kinds of videos, the second thing that you need to create within these videos are the background, whatever footages they are running and all of these things. Now, footages, what you can do it in 2 ways. Now, if you see WebHub is talking about ChatGPT, then some ChatGPT interfaces coming in the background. So which is probably like a screen recording of some sort, but there are different ways you can build it. The clearest way is what I have shown you in phase 1. Phase 1 is the clearest point of it, where you can create story. Okay. Through phase 1, you can create a story. The second part of this is the visual hooks. Okay. So whenever you see WebHub is starting a video, you will see the main characters. For example, if he's talking about ChatGPT, you will see something with Sam Altman. If he's talking about Google, then you will see Sundar Pichai. If he's talking about Grok, then you will see Elon Musk. So whenever he's doing a big update in the very beginning, there is a particular hook. Okay. Instagram, as we all know, the first 3 to 4 seconds is the game. If you can retain a person after that, there is a good chance that you will retain them for the rest part of the video. So one very, very important part is going to become the hook. Okay. Now, when I did consistent character creation, I used runway and all of that. But for the hook, what we will use is we will use Whisk. Okay. Whisk is by Google. It's a tool. Within Whisk, what we will use is Nano Banana. Okay. Nano Banana. Okay. And for the animation part of this, we will be using Higgsfield. Okay. Okay. Higgsfield has these various effects through which we can combine them and basically use them together in tandem. Okay. So this is what we are going to be discussing first before we move on to what we will do with HeyGen and 11 Labs. Okay. So in total, once you do this part, your avatar creation and these kind of videos that we do online can sort of be covered. Okay. So the first thing that I want to show you is a tool called Whisk. Okay. Whisk is a super interesting tool that is actually free at the moment completely. There's a certain number of credits that you sort of get on it, but you can sort of just go ahead and create anything you sort of want. Okay. So let's jump onto, so I'll type Whisk. Okay. Google, and Whisk should basically open up. So you will be directed to the Google Labs. This is Flow, where you can use your VO3 and all of that. This is Image FX. Image FX is where you basically use Imagen and all of that. And this is Whisk. So I'll just go to Launch Whisk. Okay. And I'll just go to Enter Tool. Now, within Whisk, okay, within Whisk, what we can do is, Whisk has a very interesting way where we can, like, combine like what we did manually in Runway. What you can do here is combine the subject, the scene, and the style of image that you want to basically create. Let's take, for example, since we are going to be creating my avatar, let's say I'm going to be doing an interesting piece where, say, I am saying that, now we won't be shooting anymore, but we will be doing everything using AI. Okay. So what I can do is I can also take Webhub's character. Let's take Webhub's character as an example here because we've been dealing with Webhub, but let's say Webhub is basically dealing with some kind of hook that leads into movie creation or movie making. He's going to talk about Samurai and he's going to say that this particular studio is doing this and creating something else. Okay. So what I'm simply going to do is upload image here. When I go to the upload image, I will simply put Webhub's image. Okay. Which is going to be this. Okay. So I've done nothing but just uploaded Webhub's image. And I will say man in the middle of a movie set. Okay. Say man in the middle of a movie set. If I come here, I can control, if I can control what are the aspects of it. Now, because we are doing a social media story, so we're going to go to 9 by 16. We can also do 16 by 9 if we want. Yeah. So I'm just saying man in the middle of a movie set, and I have put Webhub's picture over there. And I will say, yeah, actually just man in the middle of a movie set. That should be sufficient enough. Okay. So basically, this is going to be the first 3 seconds of my video where I want to go into Higgsfield and create some really interesting effects so that the moment people are scrolling and they see this, and there's going to be some transformative effect that's going to happen here. As you can see, Nano Banana is giving us pretty spot on images in terms of what we want. Yeah. So let's say man in the middle of a movie set. Okay. This is actually a nice image. Let's say holding a large camera. Holding a large camera. Okay. So this is completely free. You guys can go try this out, upload your own images onto it, do some effects with it. You can, your imagination is your only limit here, whatever you can do. So you can just go ahead and basically play whatever you guys want to play. Yeah. Okay. So this looks like Webber is shooting something. His face is very clearly visible. So say this is one of the images. Let's go with this. I'll quickly download this image. Yeah. So once I have this saved in my downloads, yeah, pretty accurate. Yeah, pretty much Weber, right? Like pretty close to what he's doing. He's holding a camera of some sorts. After this I want basically to be my hook, which is going to be the first part of my image. Okay. So after this, what I'm going to do is jump into this thing called Higgsfield. Okay. I was trying to create something which I will show you, like Webber transforms into a lava breathing monster. Yeah. But okay, let's go into Higgsfield. So Higgsfield, like Replicate, is it has its own models, but it also incorporates everything. Higgsfield is sort of trying to position itself like as a one-stop solution for anything you basically want to create with the AI imaging or video industry. Now, the interesting part is Higgsfield does a lot of pre-built visual effects. So every time you go, you can basically try and achieve one consistent effect. So let's look at some of these visual effects and select which one maybe we want. See, this is interesting, or zoom out. So maybe we can zoom in into Webhub and create a reverse clip of this where we see him on set. Yeah. Or what else can we do? Can we make him turn to fire and do a transformation? Yeah, so maybe we can do a keyframe transition here, which For example, if Webber is on set, and then the next thing is Webber is in front of a bunch of monitors and he's creating all of the effects on AI. Okay. So let's say if we just select that effect, what we can do is simply go to generate. And I think we'll probably need 2 images for this instead of 1. Let's say it's not generating. Let me just refresh this. Oops, what's wrong? Okay, we need a start frame and an end frame. So in this whisk one that we created where Webber is here, I will say man is an AI artist, AI filmmaker, sitting in a studio with a lot of computer screens in front of him. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is basically create a hook where I'm going to say on the voiceover that it's saying filmmaking is changing forever and AI filmmaking is here. So Webber is going to start with a set and then Webber is going to burn out and he's going to transition into where Webber is sitting in front of a bunch of monitors. So very quickly in the visual hook, I am saying that Webber is sitting in a studio with a lot of computer screens in front of him. Man is an AI filmmaker on a computer. Man is an AI filmmaker sitting on a computer. Okay. Let's try one more. This looks like Web is looking away. I want him to be on the screen. Or let's say looking into camera with a huge amount of screens behind him. Okay. Or maybe what we can also do is have like a robot assistant to him. Man is an AI filmmaker, directing robots shooting a film. Wide shot, let's say. Okay, let's say Bear was there, but instead of people now, they're like a bunch of robots. Just like visually convey that we are basically moving on to this age of where robots are gonna like be doing the stuff for us. Let's see. Okay, superb. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, let's take this as an example. Let's download that. Okay, let's jump back into Higgsfield. So whenever you log into a Higgsfield transition, you will see the transition on top. If you want to change this, just go to change, press change on it, and you will see like all these other transitions that will blow up in front of you. Right now, we don't want to change it. We want to add the start frame. Now, start frame and end frame is what? Like the name says, what is the first frame of your image? Is the start frame. Okay, so we'll just add this. Yeah. And then we will add the end frame. End frame is what? Basically, as the name goes, the last frame of your transition. Okay. So in the prompt, I'll just write man on a movie set. Set transforms into a set with robots around him. Robots around him. Okay. So just press generate. And this is going to take like 2 to 5 minutes to generate. But so this is the first part of the process, which is the quickest part of the process. What I want you to do is go into Whisk. Okay, everybody's clear about Whisk? Whisk is a no paid subscription model at the moment. They are pretty much testing and experimenting out with Whisk. So it's a great time to sort of jump in and sort of see if it's something that you want to explore. You can immediately jump into it and sort of add your photo and run with it. Yeah. And then after that, and Whisk can also do video, by the way, in some sorts, but Whisk doesn't have these kind of effects. What happens with Higgsfield is that there's already a bunch of preloaded effects that you can just jump in and immediately start using. So in terms of ease of use, it becomes like a huge beneficiary in terms of helping. Yeah. I could use 100%. You could use Kling for this too. Yeah, Brandon is absolutely right. You can do the same thing on Kling. Just imagine Higgsfield is like there is an intelligent layer of the transition basically being built into the back end of it. Yeah. So, okay, this is in progress. Of course, if we do it with Kling, you will have much more variation in terms of what you want to create and all of that. But the good part here is if you want to quickly change this and say in the same thing, can we do a different transition? Say objects around, aerial pullback, aquarium. We want something that shows transformation, right? So it can be a burnout, it can be like something like this. Yeah, this is also interesting where these people melt out and all of that kind of stuff. Let's try one of this also. So same transition, man on a movie set, transforms into a set with robot around him, just that the transition is different. And let's try this also. Okay, this doesn't have the end frame. Oh, it does. But it should be showing both frames. Just showing me one frame. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is done. Let's have a look at this. Okay, so here's where AI is going to transform filmmaking. Yeah. And the moment it starts, you basically you see this, and this is how the video starts. Yeah. So you can have multiple different effects, you can have multiple different things. Just concentrate on whatever is relevant to your subject. If you want to show transformation, show some radical transformation, but whatever you're trying to show basically should grab your audience instantly. That is the whole point of the hook. Yeah. So it looks pretty crisp, looks pretty neat. And this is, I think, more or less good with what we are trying to create. Yeah. So let's keep this downloaded. But you're clear on the hook part of it. I'll move on to HeyGen and we'll actually get into the commercial creating the avatar bit of it, right? It's that time of the night. Let's go. I'm excited about HeyGen. Yeah. HeyGen is pretty transformative. I know that you guys have a coupon code for HeyGen, so I'm expecting a lot of you to go out there and try this out and do this and put an avatar of yourself in your family groups and your friends and send it to your friends and have them believe it's actually you speaking to them. Yeah. So difference between Higgs field and Whisk. Whisk is for you to go and create your images. Yeah. Higgs field, you can also sort of, do like, you can animate stuff like this and all. But for that, I would actually recommend going into a different engine. If you want to use Nano Banana, you can go into Gemini or you can go into Whisk. It's completely free. Go and try and use it there, because if it's free, why pay for it, right? Okay, let's get into HeyGen. Are we ready for this? Does this transform? Let's look. The second one is also done. Okay, he transforms into chocolate. Yeah, this didn't play out as we wanted, but this is exactly what we want, so we'll stick to this. Yeah, so like that. Just explore the Higgs field library. There's a million of them you can play around with, and whatever suits you, just sort of run with it. Okay, now to go to the interesting part, which is going to be the next phase. Okay, so if we have covered this, okay, story phase one, we have completely covered in extreme amount of detail. Some people even got bored, but I sometimes, it's better to study it from the complete grassroots, so you have nothing. And then hook, I showed you Whisk, how to create images instantly with this stuff, and then Higgs field, how to create transitions. Okay, now this is what we are getting to. This is the core of your subject, which is HeyGen. Okay, let's jump into HeyGen. Okay. Okay, all of you have become familiar with HeyGen by now. You guys all know that this is where all the magic happens. I already basically have a character trained of myself, and I'll just play a small clip for you, but I'm going to delete this and retrain the character and show you how this actually works. Okay, the audio is off because if I turn both the audios on, it's going to sing, but let me just retrain it. So this is my online avatar. I can basically cut it out. I can take it to how Vaibhav appears on a green screen and do all of that stuff. There is also the new HeyGen 4 where you can create an avatar directly from a photo. Okay, photo to video with avatar A4. We will also try this and see what are the results of it and how good it actually is. I've already tried creating some. This is basically with photo. Let me just play this for you and just enable sound for a second. I'll just have to mute myself.
So, mon Dieu, this internet you speak of is slower than a drunken snail on a Sunday. I wait, and still the page it does not load. In my day, when a letter took 3 months to arrive from Paris, we called that progress. Now they promise me messages in an instant. Instant! And yet I sit here staring at a spinning wheel like some cursed fortune teller mocking my patience. I click. Nothing. I refresh. Still nothing. Sacre bleu. If this is the future, then I shall take back my quill, my parchment, and my trusty horse, for at least they never needed to be connected.
Right? Like a Frenchman complaining about the speed of the internet in the 1700s. That's like absolutely wonderful to listen to. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait, I'll just have to stop share and reshare because the audio is. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take a look at Avatar for how you basically can create direct avatars from a photo. But the thing with this is, see, understand something about avatar creation, okay? You can put a picture of yourself right now, train an audio, and create an avatar like this instantly. The problem with that is AI doesn't know how I move. AI doesn't know how I talk. AI doesn't know how I move my hands. Where my character is today in terms of this, it's not really in terms of actually like completely perfect because this is my body language here is a bit strict. But if you look at Vaibhav's character is very well trained. If you meet Vaibhav when you speak to him and when you hear Vaibhav's avatar, it's almost like it's the same, you know. So in terms of character training, there is no better way to train a character than to actually do a proper video. Okay, let's go into creating a new character. Okay, let's go into avatars. Let's start fresh. Let me delete my old avatar. Let me delete this. Okay. Yes, please delete it. Okay, so let's go into creating a new avatar. Okay, we will start fresh and we will do the digital twin. Okay, this is what I want you guys to create later also. Okay, it says use a single video to create an avatar that moves and acts just like you. And you know the best part, you just need 5 minutes of good video to create this, and this avatar will create content for you while you sleep. Okay, literally. Of course, you have to edit and automate that workflow and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, we will get into that. Okay, now when it comes to your character training, okay, Hejan already has a video here that gives you a very straightforward idea into what you should do and what you should not do with your character. There have been very clearly marked out ways in terms of what the angle should be, what all of this should be. But I will tell you in short what you can do immediately, okay? This video will give you all the detail that you actually need to do it professionally. But if I have to sum it up for you, what I can tell you is that I already have my avatar video. This is basically the training video that I used for my avatar. Okay. How I have shot this is basically very, very simple. Okay, I already have it downloaded actually. So this is just a raw clip of me looking directly into camera and speaking, like speaking for like some around like just below just below 5 minutes. What is very, very important when you do your Hejan avatar, get the best possible camera that you have access to. In most cases, if you do not have access to any kind of professional camera, not required, not important. You have your phones. The back camera of your phone is more than good enough. If you switch your back camera to the highest resolution of shooting video, place it stationary in one place. You know, whenever you place your camera should be in one place. Make sure if you're inside your house, try not recording the video at night because the more number of practical lights or these kind of lights that you have, as you can see, there are different kinds of shadows on my face and all that. I would suggest not to do that in the night. In the day, possibly, if you have a good place in your house that has a neutral background, make sure that whenever you're shooting, your background should be plain and neutral. There should not be any moving stuff in your background. Like if a road can be seen where cars are passing, it's a bad deal. So wherever you're shooting, the background should be straight, plain, not too much of movement. You should be sitting directly and facing the camera at all points of time. So straight on like this. Whenever you're talking to the camera, just make sure that your hands or whatever hand movement you're doing is not too extensive. That means you're not going out of the frame or coming inside. At the same point of time, your hand should never intersect your face. Okay, it should never come in front of your face because your face should never be obstructed for the video at any point of time. Try and maintain eye contact straight with the camera as much as possible. And most importantly, speak as naturally as possible. Do multiple things. As you can see, I'm a bit camera conscious because I'm more used to being behind the camera than in front of it. So I'm not very comfortable in front of the camera, but when you're talking to the camera, try and be as straightforward, as natural as possible. The more natural you are, the better your output is going to turn out to be. Remember this. This video that you will create is the database for your own virtual AI. So the best quality database will create the best quality results. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, of course, this is my summing up of it, but if you want to do it in more detail, you can always go into Hejan's video and have a look at that. It basically summarizes the same thing I've said, but they are more detailed about it. Okay. So they are also showing you where to go on your phone and which camera to select and all of that. So I'll definitely suggest that you see this video before you are trying to actually make the avatar yourself. Okay. Now, let's get started. Now, see, it again details out. It says use the right equipment, submit a 2 to 5 minute, at least 30-second long. And I'll say 4 minutes is a good, 3.5 to 4 minutes, a very good time. Set the right environment, look straight ahead, keep your head level. Select natural, speak naturally and clearly. This is where I made a mistake with my avatar. Try and be as natural as possible. Expressive natural motion. Sit, stand, or walk while engaging naturally. I would suggest don't walk, sit in a certain place, but be emotive. Like, don't be too upfront like I've been. Okay. I'll just go next. What you can do after you've recorded your video, you can straight away drop the video here, or you can paste a Google Drive link to your video. This is what I'm going to do right now. I already have my videos Google Drive. I'm just going to quickly just paste that Google link over here. Okay, so I have my G Drive link. Okay, the moment I'm going to press next, it's going to start processing it. Okay. Now this keep ambient sounds in my recording, ideally, I will ask you to tick off, because if there's, so another important thing, whenever you're recording your motion and all of that, Hejan is also paying attention to your voice. So if you have a lot of noisy background and all of that, it will hamper the final output. So try and uncheck this. Normalize your volume of my audio if your audio is too up and down. AI background removal. This basically allows you removal when using this avatar. This is an option that you want to see. 4K is not really required. HD is more than good enough. Okay, I'm just going to go next. Now, this is where the safety part of Hejan comes in. Now, imagine if I could train anyone's avatar on Hejan. Like I could get Bruce Willis, or I could get like anyone I probably want. I can take a video of them from the internet speaking at some interview probably and train a character on Hejan. So it's a big loop in privacy and security. So what Hejan does is that Hejan is also a very safe platform that ensures the security of your own avatar while making sure that you are using only your avatar. So after you upload your thing, it's going to ask you to turn on your camera and mic. Okay. So if you're doing this on any system, the moment you press this on, you will have to basically look into camera and read, your name, hereby allow Hejan to use the footage of me to build a Hejan avatar for use of the Hejan platform. So what they do is, I already have a recording like this. So I'm just going to say use this. They are going to take this recording. They are going to look at the video you have uploaded, match the two, and see if this is the same person. So your privacy is maintained in all of this. Also making sure that people just don't randomly train anybody's character on Hejan. So this is something you need to do. Just turn on your thing, look directly into camera and just read whatever is given. It'll process that. And then your avatar will basically start. You have to basically name your avatar after that, and you can start processing. Okay. So I'm just going to go next. Okay. Footage is uploaded. Now, this will be your quality check. Okay, you don't want to see too many X marks over here. You want to see as many greens as possible. And whatever we have just spoken about, what should be the key things that you keep in mind when you're making your avatar, that are the things that are showing you. So it says well-lit environment, expressive facial features, camera is stable, maintain same position in frame, mouth visible at all times. That means no face, no hands and all in front of the mouth. Strong background contrast, subtle body movements, only 1% of the foreground, at least 2 minutes of footage. So it's saying at least 2 minutes of footage. Yeah. Audio quality, quiet background, brief process. So it's checking for all of these things. Once it sees that all of these things are in check, and if you see that majority of these things are X mark, please do not train your avatar. Go back, re-record the video, get a better output, and then put it in. Yeah. if you have a green screen, it's always better. Like, for example, you can change backgrounds. For example, we are having to cut web out and use it in different things, right? So that helps. If you want to change your background, you can do that as well. But with this, we'll also explore photo to video avatar straight, which is kind of crazy. Okay, so I'm just going to submit this for now. Okay, your avatar is being created. This is going to take anywhere for, what do you want to name your avatar? PK, the man. Okay, by creating the avatar, I confirm I'm 18 years old, blah, 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 and all of that. Okay, so this is getting ready. Okay, now in the meantime that this is getting ready, okay, HeyGen will also take your voice information, but we want to be extra good with our voice. Yeah, we want to create an extra voice avatar that is also required. So what HeyGen is giving you the video. Second thing we have to do, HeyGen also will give you audio also. But I'll tell you, in terms of audio, we have seen that if you do a separate audio training on a specialist platform, it gives you a much better control of audio and it actually makes you sound like who you actually are. Okay. For that, we are going to go into 11 Labs. Okay. So imagine HeyGen is your video guy, 11 Labs is your audio guy. Okay. 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 11 Labs. Huh? Now in 11 Labs, same process of training. This time we are not going to train for video. We are only going to train for audio. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is simply I'm just using Premiere. You can just use iMovie also if you want. I'm going to take my avatar here and I just want to extract the audio out of it, nothing else. Okay. So I'm just going to go here, press, and I'm going to take, say, 1 minute, say 2 minutes of audio. Okay. Now there are two kinds of training, say, and I'm going to just extract my audio. Okay. Export media. You can just do this with any MP3 converter also. Not necessary that you do it with Premiere. I'm just so used to it. So it's easier for me to do it. So I'm just going to extract it as an MP3 and I'm going to call it PK audio data. Okay. And I'm going to export this. Okay. Done and dusted. Okay. So my video avatar is done. Okay. And my audio is also basically ready to be trained. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into 11 Labs and I'm going to go into voices. Okay. The moment I go into voices, what I'm going to see is if I go to my voices, it'll tell me here, create or clone a voice. Okay. So I can just simply click on this. And here now, there's two kinds of voice cloning. There's instant voice cloning and there's professional voice cloning. Now, of course, I'm a limited user. I've already created one professional voice clone. The process is exactly the same. There is no difference in the process. It's just that a professional voice clone requires at least 30 minutes of clean audio. So I have done this one massive exercise back in the day, but I hardly use this. I'll suggest go for an instant voice clone first. If then you see you need further thing, then go for a professional voice clone. So I'm going to go for an instant voice clone. I'm going to come, just insert the PK audio over here, simply drag and drop. Okay. Press next. And this will be done in like no time. Okay. With this process. Okay. Let's call this PK audio. It's asking me to name my audio. It's asking me to tell me what language. Okay, it's still processing. I'm going to say, of course, English. Okay, add description, PK test audio. Okay. Again, I hereby confirm that this is my voice. I'm not trying to type anybody's, and I'm going to just press save. And within like 30 seconds, my audio voice is going to be ready. And see, it's already ready. I can just generate speech with it. Okay. Let's type something. Hey there. I am PK. Let's generate. Oh, you won't be able to hear it because my audio is off. 1 second. I have to mute it.
Hey there, I am PK. Hey there, I am PK. Hey there, I am PK.
Yeah. So whatever I try to create in terms of an audio, I will create here. And is my avatar done? Okay, 79% done. So in the meantime, let's run a small monologue for me to do my testing. I'll go to my chat GPT and I'll just say monologue. Okay, I'll just say write a small monologue about how PK does too many renders. Yeah. Shorter. This is too long. Shorter. And it's PK saying it. Okay. Let's see. It's about PK doing too many. Okay. Bro, I do too many renders. One ends, I start another. It's like I can't stop pulling the lever on a slot machine. My folders are a joke. Final, final, final. Please, God. At this point, I think renders are doing me, not the other way around. Interesting. Nice. Okay. So what I'm going to do is quickly move on to text to audio. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is just paste this audio. Okay. And generate speech. In the meantime that this is generating, I think our avatar must already be ready. Okay. Yeah, almost. I think another 2 minutes and that's done. Okay, audio is ready. Let's listen to it. Let me just mute myself.
Bro, I do way too many renders. One ends, I start another. It's like I can't stop pulling the lever on a slot machine. My folders are a joke. Final, final underscore final, final underscore, please God. At this point, I think the renders are doing me, not the other way around. Bro, I do way too many renders. One ends, I start another. It's like I can't stop pulling the lever on a slot machine. My folders are a joke. Final, final underscore final, final underscore please God. At this point, I think the renders are doing me, not the other way around.
Not bad, huh? For like, I think for 2 minutes of audio, pretty good. Okay, so we have our voice ready. All we need now is our avatar, which is ready. Okay, so let's quickly create the first video with our avatar. So your avatar is ready. Click on it. Okay, congratulations. Amazing. Let's do next. So let's do next. Okay. So, okay. Create with AI Studio. Let's go. Take me there. Not right now. Don't want that. Okay. So, now type or use command with a digital tone or audio. So you can see you can add a scene, you can do audio, you can pause. So I'm just going to click on audio and I'm going to say upload audio. Okay. My audio is already downloaded from 11 Labs, which is about me doing too many renders. I go in and it's a 2 minute long audio. So it's going to be a 2 minute long video. So whatever audio you're pasting in, that's how long your video is going to be. So keep in mind whenever you're doing any of this avatar generation, you know that if you want to do an Instagram reel, try and keep your audio within 1 minute. So the moment you generate in 11 Labs, you'll already come to understand it's going to be this long. Yeah. So all I've done is drag in my 11 drops audio into it. Oh no, sorry. This is PK audio data. This is the right file. I've dropped the wrong file. Sorry, back. Okay. This is the one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why is it taking so much time to upload? And why is it 2 minutes long? It's 17 seconds long, by the way. My mistake. Okay. Yes, add audio. Okay, audio is done. Yeah. I'm simply going to press on generate. It's going to ask me to name the video, and I'm going to call it too many renders. Too many renders. Okay. Resolution is 1080p frames MP4, which is fine. Hagen watermark, we don't want it, so it's off. Okay, and I'll just press submit. Okay, and then you see inline for processing. Okay, now by the time this processes, very quickly, let's go and show you how to create an avatar out of a single photo, basically. So if, for example, I go into Whisk, okay, let me just take a screenshot of that video I have of myself. Okay, if I open this, okay, let's go to the initial frame. Let me take a screenshot. Yeah. So what you can do very quickly in Whisk, if you want to create your photos and turn it into an avatar, what I can simply do is I can jump onto Whisk, go into Nano Banana, remove web hub, upload my own image, which is you uploading your own image, and say man in a sci-fi post. I can never spell apocalyptic. Post man in a studio looking sad. Sad computer screens fill the background. Okay. Let's see if our video is done. No, it's still processing. Too many renders is in line for processing. I don't know, Asian also will be thinking, okay. Doesn't look like me, but yeah, looks sad enough. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna run it a few more times. Man looking, so yeah. The background, character. I'll just include a phrase in the foreground which Nano Banana really likes, keeping the character exactly the same. Create
Pretty
a
fine. The first
man.
image, sorry.
Yeah. This should do it. Okay, this is processing. But all clear on Hagen? Yeah. Hagen for video. Okay, 36%. Okay, it's almost done. Hagen for video, 11 laps for audio. Combine the two together. Train Hagen, your video avatar, 11 laps, your audio avatar. Put the two together. You know Higgsfield to create your hooks. You know phase one to create the additional footage that is required. And bang, put all of it together and you have a solid plan for content generation, right? Okay, let's see if Whisk has made our image. Okay. Yeah, I look sad enough. That's fine. Okay, I've downloaded that image. I'm gonna move on here. And I'm just gonna go to avatars. Okay, this time. Actually not do that. I'm gonna go into home and I'm gonna say turn photo into video with avatar 4. Okay. So let's go into create photo. I'm gonna upload a photo, which is going to be this. Yeah. Why is it not? Yeah. Okay. And then upload or record your audio. Now already, because I have already trained my voice, I can just select the last audio. Okay, add audio. Okay. And in custom emotion, basically this is telling you if this man is happy or sad. So I'll say man very, very sad. Yeah. And generate. Okay. So now we are doing it two ways. We have one photo avatar, we have one video avatar. Okay. And these are the two ways you can do it here. There's also some Nano Banana editions that have been made onto Hagen, which you can explore from the homepage, but Whisk is free. Just go into Whisk, do it. Don't complicate your life. Yeah. Let me look at the chat box. In the meantime, any questions while we're doing this?
Expecting a
missed you.
Hey, Bharadwaj, I think your voice is breaking.
Cap. Crisp, like. Can you hear me?
We lost you in the middle, Bharadwaj. How to change clothes or accessories or video avatar? Very, very good question. You answer is you can't. Okay. The problem is if you do a video avatar, no, whatever you have recorded yourself in those clothes, you are going every time you generate will be those clothes. You can't change the clothes of that person. So that's why sometimes if you generate with photo, sometimes it's better. Say big creators also who have a data set have 4 or 5 costumes that they have done this in. So costume you cannot change in terms of a video avatar when you're doing your video generation process. But look at these things like Nano Banana and all, they're getting so much better. You take one screenshot of your face, go into Nano Banana, change it to one different atmosphere, go to 11 Labs, record your audio, come back to HeyGen, put your audio in, bam, you have a new video ready, right? So the problem with video avatars, if you're giving video information, whatever is in that video information will be replicated whenever you're creating something. So technically, you cannot change the clothes of an avatar after you have created the video part of it. Yeah.
So Priyanku, if you're able to hear me out,
Yeah.
I think we can just do a very crisp a summary of recap of what has been done so far for
Yeah.
this video, and then I think we can once that is done, we can get into the Q&A part.
Done. I was just waiting for this to be ready so I can sum up this for this. But okay, in the meantime that HeyGen and 11 Labs are getting ready, let's sum up the hook creation and the video. Oh, actually, this is ready. Okay. You are going to use Whisk to create any images that you need for the hook. Whisk is free. Go and jump into Whisk. Put your image. Put any other image you want to modify. Go into Whisk. Create these initial images there. Yeah. After you create these images, basically what you do is that you jump into Higgsfield. Okay. You choose the best hook that aligns with the kind of video and the message you are trying to display. For this video, for example, we have taken an example that Vaibhav is going to talk about the movie industry that is going to change. So this is a particular hook that aligns with it, that your traditional filmmaking is going away and robots are going to be making films. So it's an exaggerated representation of the idea, but as long as it catches attention, okay? That is the hook, okay? Now, once you have done this hook using Higgsfield, and you guys are clear about using Higgsfield and how to do your hook, right? It's a very clear formatted process, okay? You come into Explore. Once you come into Explore, you will see Higgsfield effects pop out in front of you. Visual effects will pop out. And all of these are individual visual effects. Okay. And you can check out each one by detail. For example, you are doing something about the world freezing. Check out what freezing looks like. Okay. So this is the effect that Vaibhav used for his ChatGPT video. Okay, so he used the freezing effect. So like that, you choose an effect that aligns with the kind of message you're trying to portray. Once your hook video is done, okay, which is going to be this video. Yeah. Once your hook video is done, you need to generate your avatar and generate your voice. Very simply, remember this. Video avatar, for video, you will go into HeyGen. For audio, you will go into 11 Labs and you'll segregate it that way. And within both, you will do one training. Video training HeyGen, audio training avatar. 11 Labs. Let's look at the result. Okay. I'll have to change my audio. Just give me a minute. I will play both for you because I'll have to mute this audio first. Okay. I'll play this and I'll play the one after this, which I've generated with the image.
Bro, I do way too many renders. One ends, I start another. It's like I can't stop pulling the lever on a slot machine. My folders are a joke. Final, final underscore final, final underscore please God. At this point, I think the renders are doing me, not the other way around. Bro, I do way too many renders. One ends, I start another. It's like I can't stop pulling the lever on a slot machine. My folders are a joke. Final, final underscore final, final underscore please God. At this point, I think the renders are doing me, not the other way around.
Okay. Clear on that? You guys saw the obvious difference between doing a video avatar and doing it from a photo. Your video is always going to look much, much more realistic. Okay. Lip sync may be a bit off in especially the one that is done with a photo. But in terms of the video, it depends on the base quality of how good your video is. You know, I am not that expressive, but if you look at Vaibhav's video, he is recording himself as naturally as possible. You see how I'm speaking now and interacting now. That's how I'm not like that when the camera is put in front of my face. So do the video avatar and try it. If you want to quickly try one, go and do the photo one, get used to it. Then you try the video one and it's absolutely going to rock your world. Yeah. And of course, putting all the things together, like I showed in an editing format, allows you to put this content together. What I've showed you is basically the building blocks of what it is. Yeah. Over to you, Tuppa. I think you can.
All right. Bharadwaj, are you here?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now you're good.
Okay. All right, people. How was that? Let me know in the chat. How were you able to understand? Was that recap helpful? And were you able to know how this videos are created?
By the way, Bharadwaj has a very, very good avatar. And he has it in multiple languages also. Bharadwaj, you just send it to me.
Oh, yeah. Should we just show that?
Yeah,
So,
please, if you have it. And this allows you to do translation also. So Bharadwaj has actually done that on one video. You know, when he's gone a bit more intensive into it. I actually really like his avatar. He's much more natural with the camera when it comes to speaking and all. Yeah, but I hope this session has been in depth. I hope this session has been to a point where you are clear about the details, because overall it looks okay. You do this immediately, clear. But when you start doing it, you will face these small things that are gonna come back to haunt you, and then you'll feel like, "Arey, when I saw in the video, it was looking nice, but now it's not turning out nice." So that's why sometimes we go into a bit of detail, and I think it's necessary that it's fully covered from that aspect. Yeah.
Imagine a world where tech giants power their
Oh,
empires.
wait, let me stop share. Yeah.
oh yeah, I was just finding that video out. I just had like we're at office and we lost internet. But yeah, I think I'm back now. Let me quickly share.
Yeah, but
imagine.
See, if we 3 months before we didn't have Nano Banana, now we have Nano Banana. It's so simple. 6 months before we didn't have runway references. So it's really coming to a point where this stuff is really catching on fire.
Yeah, so let me share the sound as well. Yes, someone said it in the chat. Sora 2 just dropped.
Are you sure? This last time Sora came out, no, I'm still in PTSD after actually using Sora.
कल्पना
I don't
कीजिए
know how the
एक
other
ऐसे
creators
दुनिया
out here feel like it, but it's PTSD.
So-
I'm not even.
All right, so people, this was my
Imagine a world
English
where
video.
tech giants power their empires with nuclear energy. Google is doing just that by partnering with Kairos Power to option.
So this was my English video, and then I converted this to Hindi. Let's see how that's.
कल्पना कीजिए एक ऐसे दुनिया की जहां तकनीकी दिग्गज अपनी साम्राज्य को न्यूक्लियर ऊर्जा से संचालित करते हैं। गूगल यही कर रहा है, कायरोस पावर के साथ साझेदारी करके छोटे मॉड्यूलर न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टरों की खोज कर रहा है अपने एआई चालित डेटा केंद्रों के लिए। जैसे जैसे एआई तकनीक को अधिक ऊर्जा की आवश्यकता होती है, पारंपरिक स्रोत बस साथ नहीं दे पा रहे हैं। न्यूक्लियर पावर में प्रवेश करें, जो एक विश्वसनीय विकल्प है।
So that was different. I created one in Spanish also, probably.
Yeah, he speaks fluent Spanish.
Imagine a world.
No, not this. I have a couple of videos. Not this too. Okay, hope to find it quick. Oh yeah, there you go.
Imagine a world.
Not this too. Looks like I lost it.
Imagina un mundo donde los gigantes tecnológicos impulsan sus imperios con energía nuclear. Google está haciendo precisamente eso al asociarse con Kairos Power para explorar reactores nucleares modulares pequeños para sus centros de datos impulsados por inteligencia artificial. A
Much better
medida que la
Spanish than you
tecnología
speak
de IA
Hindi, by
exige
the
más
way.
energía, las fuentes tradicionales simplemente no pueden seguir el ritmo. Aquí entra la energía nuclear, una opción confiable. Los SMR son compactos, seguros y están diseñados para proporcionar un suministro de energía constante. Este movimiento audaz podría redefinir la forma en que opera la industria tecnológica y contribuir a un planeta más verde.
I don't know if this is true or I don't know if this is correct or no,
No,
but
but
I think
you guys get the point of the natural body movement. You saw how tight I was when I was doing my video. You see how naturally Bharadwaj is moving because he's actually what he's naturally looks like. He's doing that to himself. So whenever you're doing your video, trust me, do your natural language. Your avatar will come out fantastic. Don't be conscious. That's all I have to say.
yes. So this was AI cloning people. I'm sure all of you will be able to send your AI clones videos within your families, WhatsApp groups, or friends groups. Please send your AI clone version and ask them to interact with your clone. But let me understand how this has gone for all of you. I'm sure this must have been overwhelming. I'll tell you why this is overwhelming for one reason. Okay, because Priyanka was doing this in front of you and he was generating, and generation takes time. I don't know how many GPUs we were spinning up in the back end, but we were generating everywhere, which is insane. So kudos to all the patience that you put up, Priyanku. Thank you so much. I
Patience to
hope
you
all of
guys.
you
You
had
guys
a
have sat through it.
yeah. You can probably take a quick coffee break. We
I'll do
will,
that.
yeah, we'll take a quick feedback now, right? All right. So I'll turn the chat off for now, and I'll ask my team to drop the Q&A, sorry, not Q&A, feedback link so that we can take some feedback. All right. So team, can we drop the Q&A link in the chat, please? Meanwhile, I'll start sharing my screen. Suddenly we had Wi-Fi outage at our office and it's back after like 10 minutes. Okay. And there you go. You can scan this QR code and you can share your feedback. And I'm expecting each and every one of you on this call right now to please fill this feedback. It's very, very important for you folks to come and talk and give us that feedback of how the session was. I'm sure you must have had a banger of a session with respect to the content, information, and most importantly, the patience that Priyanku has shown in to wait for each and every render like a kid, to be really honest, right? So I think one important lesson that you'll need to learn is playing around with these creative AI tools is not very straightforward or not very easy. You need to be patient enough until you get the right kind of response that you need. And it takes a lot of prompting, right? So it takes a lot of iterative prompting to be really honest, right? I'm sure all of you must have had a great delight watching these workflows. So you can use these workflows in two use cases. One, if you want to solve a problem at your at your workplace, you can go ahead and solve those marketing problems because as an AI generalist, we are supposed to wear multiple hats. If needed, be a marketer one day. If needed, be a CMO or act like a CMO one day. That's all about AI generalists, right? Now, if you want to build your own personal brand on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you want, right? You can post these videos and you can post the content that you generate over this, right? So I'm looking forward to each and every one of you building these clones and posting it on Reflections. But for now, please
I think you're frozen for a bit. We need Bharadwaj's avatar now to drop in and say, hey guys, Bharadwaj is having an internet outage. Yeah, but you know, I hope this adds a tremendous, like guys, I'll leave you with something. You know, when you see it, it's really exciting and it's really fun and it allows you to like, it blows your mind initially. But I'll tell you, within the next 48 hours or whenever you get time throughout the week, practice it once. because what happens no once we see it and it stays in our visual memory, but then over time we tend to forget. And you'll get the recordings and all of that, but going through all of these recordings is just a hassle. If you just try and do it once, make one sequence of something, make one avatar, make one video, and then it's just gonna be in the back of your mind in terms of the process. And of course, the tools will get better, the quality will get better, the renders will get faster, and all of that is just bound to happen.
Hey folks, I think Bharadwaj and a few of others from the team have lost their internet. So we can the feedback form is still here, so we'll just take around till 11:05 to all of you guys can just scan the feedback form, right? And the link is also uploaded here in the chat. So just make sure that you guys give us the feedback. Yeah.
Check. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I think Twitter is going mad over Sora too.
But it's limited access.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
invite only.
No,
I
think
don't know. That's my personal opinion, but I have had PTSD. I don't know. The other mentors here will be better judges, but I don't know if any of us have actually used Sora and done one project. Like the hype was unbelievable. I still remember it was like some Friday evening. I saw Sora drop. We look at these videos, and that time we were using Runway Gen 2, and we went like, "What? Like there is no way." And we waited 6 months, and we did the first render, and we went, "What? There is no way that we waited for this for 6 months." It was so bad. I hope they've become better.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Great. People looking forward to hear from each and every one of you. Please take a moment and drop this feedback over this Google form. We'll wait for next 3 to 4 minutes. Meanwhile, team, can you keep me posted on the number of entries that we've gotten?
Okay, I'll do a quick coffee break and I'm coming back.
Oh yeah.
I'll get a coffee.